The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
Chopping up Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Chats on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing? Shadows crawl. People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shining, head goes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light. Chopping up Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Chats on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing? Shadows crawl. People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shining, head goes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light.
What is up, YouTube? It is Dolly back in the house again tonight. And of course, I got the lovely PJ with me. And tonight we're going to be discussing Dane Paulsen, the missing young boy, 2 years old, out of Oregon. Also, we're going to be touching in on Karen Reed, John O'Keefe, and the federal investigation. Also, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Sebastian Rogers misinformation campaign that has been running lately. But first, of course, if you're brand new, make sure you sub up, ring the bell for notifications. And PJ, where should they leave their DNA?
On the like button.
On the damn like button, people. So if you're just coming into the room, there's 284 of you in here right now. Definitely leave your DNA all over that like button, okay? And feel free, of course, to share our face anywhere you choose, long as it ain't Pornhub. Okay, so we're going to jump into, let's go into the little missing child from Oregon first, because there's been a press conference and everything that went down, and we're getting bad news in this case. Yeah. And that sucks, right? We did a lot of praying last night for this young man. And, his mother took her eyes off of him for just a split second. And, the police are saying that he was last seen by the river. And they believe that this small child is in the river, which is heartbreaking. We were praying for a different outcome. Right now, they are searching downstream a good ways, thinking, how far his body may have washed. Now, we talked a little bit about that last night, but we were hoping for something different today. Now, listen, they haven't found him. It's not 100% yet, but it does look like this child may have went into the water and may no longer be with us. And they're searching select locations right now as more of a recovery effort to finding this little boy. Now, we're going to jump into the press conference of it real quick so you guys know what's going on. And then, of course, we'll discuss it. We'll get into the Karen Reed stuff, the Sebastian Rogers stuff. We got a good show for you tonight. Some sad news, of course, and a lot of it. But still we're gonna make it the best show we can under the circumstances. And it's good to see each and every one of you in here with us. All right, let's jump right into it. All right, here we go. Let's hide this. Let's blow this up. Good to see you guys too.
Good evening, and thank you for being here for our community update on the search for Dane Paulsen. I'm Jess Palma, the Public Information Officer for the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, and today I'm joined by Sheriff Adam Shanks and Sergeant Jason Spano. Before we begin, please take this time to silence any cell phones, radios, or other devices that may cause a disturbance. After our speakers share their statements, there will be time for some questions from members of the media. In just a moment, I will hand this over to Sheriff Shanks, but first I will provide some updates on the ongoing search for Dane. Before I begin, I need to recognize how difficult this has been on Dane's family, especially his parents, Shamet and Aaron. The pain and tragedy that they are facing is unimaginable. Our teams and supporting agencies have been working to find Dane, and our hearts are heavy. I would also like to thank our community for your continued support and concern as we work diligently to bring Dane home. We understand the deep impact this situation has on his family and our community, and we are committed to finding answers. Despite intense search and rescue efforts in the surrounding area and waterways, as well as investigations following up on community tips, Dane has not yet been located. Our teams, search and rescue, mounted posse, and partnering agencies, as well as community volunteers, have thoroughly searched the local area. The search has utilized every tool we've been able to employ, including but not limited to additional personnel and volunteers, drones, canines, thermal imaging, night vision, watercraft, divers, and more. These tools have enabled us to cover more ground in a shorter time frame and have enabled us to better access hard-to-reach terrain. Lincoln County communities have shown their support by helping search, sharing official updates, reporting tips, and offering food or other accommodations to responders.
Definitely
Over the
sad.
last 72 hours, searchers have covered over 682 acres and 341 walking miles. Over 2 river miles have been thoroughly searched by divers. At least 195 leads and tips have been investigated. This investigation is still very active and remains a priority for our team.
No,
and
Dolly,
community.
good.
We want to bring Dane home. Our communities continue to ask for ways they can support Dane's family. Right now, they just want their son back. If you have information related to Dane's disappearance, we ask that you report it to the tip line at 541-265-0669. When sharing information that may help us bring Dane home, be as specific as possible. Note the time, exact location, and get clear photos or videos when possible. Although community volunteers are no longer officially being organized at the volunteer staging area, they may choose to continue to search for Dane on their own. We respectfully remind our community, if they are choosing to continue the search, to keep safety in mind. Avoid searching at night and avoid private property without updated permission from the landowner. As more information becomes available, we will continue to share updates on our Flash Alert page and Facebook. Now I will invite Sheriff Shanks to share his statement.
Good evening. I am Sheriff Adam Shanks. Dane's disappearance is absolutely heartbreaking. His family is experiencing unimaginable pain. As a parent myself, my heart is broken just seeing what they are going through. Our teams and supporting agencies have held this search close to our hearts. On behalf of all responding agencies and community volunteers, I want to express sincere empathy and compassion. I would also like to recognize and thank our community for your continued support and concern as we work to locate Dane. We understand the deep impact that situation has on his family and our community. We are committed to finding answers. I want to thank our communities for doing what they do best during this search, which is coming together to support each other. Over 200 community members throughout our county.
To be blessed, we have
across
to
the
be a
state, and
blessing.
even
Latin Cross. May God bless Dolly and PJ for their sharing and carrying. Latin Cross. Love this room. Latin Cross.
Okay, thank you for your super chat. Welcome to the Blessed Express. Board on up, get you a nice window seat tonight.
And we're praying for your mom. Her mom's been in the ICU.
Yes, I seen her message that her mom was in the ICU. So we're hoping all goes well for your mother. And thank you for being here with us tonight. And this is a sad story, guys. And somebody was asking in the chat, was there a fence between the river and his house? No, there was no fence.
I've seen people saying there's a fence all around the property.
No, there's not. We looked at it, and there's not.
I saw
not a full fence.
No, not a full fence. You're right.
Not a full fence at all. Not a fence that a 2-year-old couldn't get through. Okay,
Yeah.
he could get through the front gate. He could have got through the sides. There is overgrow on the sides of these houses. So it'd be hard to get into the woods or hard to get into the water. But the police are saying now he was last seen by the water.
They're saying to have data to indicate that he was last seen or his last placement is by the water.
By the water,
I don't
yes.
understand how they can determine that.
Heat signatures and stuff like that. So definitely a sad situation. And we knew, going into this, the first 48 hours, if he's not found in the first 48 hours, it drops by 50% the chances him being found alive. We done went into 72 hours, so we're at 25% chance of this child being alive. And they're right now, they done moved their search back to certain down river.
And they've stopped asking for volunteers.
Yes, because they're searching the river. And, I watched a local talk about it, and he said that river had been really high 3 days ago. And in the last 3 days, it's calmed down a little bit. He said, but the water, when the child went missing, was really heavy and hard when the child may have went into the water. The water's calming down a little bit now, and it's lowering. And he said it's at about a medium level compared to what it usually is. So it'll go down some more, but they then went down a few miles downstream of how far they think the water could have carried him before he got caught up on something. And they're searching that area now, which is horrible. Because, they done look through all the woods around his house, and they haven't seen him, no signs of him, no traces of him. So either somebody's kidnapped him or he's went into this water, and most likely he's in this water.
Yeah.
Or wildlife out there with black bears, coyotes, other things like that may have possibly gotten to this kid.
I mean, it's been 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days at 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
The chances are getting slimmer and slimmer. But, let's still pray for a miracle, guys. Still pray for a miracle, because anything's possible. And hopefully this little boy is out there somewhere. It just don't look good.
Surrounding states have responded to help by reporting to the volunteer staging area. This effectively helped us cover the local area faster than would have otherwise been possible. Our communities also have helped by sharing official updates from our page, which helped keep others informed and on the lookout. You've also not hesitated to call in tips that might help us bring Dane home. We know this is a difficult time for Dane's family, and we are doing everything we can to bring him home. From the bottom of my heart, on behalf of Dane's family, thank you for all you have done. However, we are not finished. I will now invite Sergeant Jason Spano to provide an update on anticipated next steps for the search of Dane.
Good evening. I am Sergeant Jason Spano. I know our entire community has been affected by Dane's disappearance, and our hearts are with his family while we work to bring him home.
He looks like the ball
In
guy.
addition to community members,
Absolutely.
highly trained personnel, search canines, and specialized equipment have thoroughly covered the local area. This includes ground, water, and air searches. Based on the information from search efforts and following up on tips, we will now be concentrating on a very focused area. So far, the evidence available indicates Dane was at the river's edge before his disappearance. Because of this, we will be focusing the majority of our ongoing resources on searching the Siletz River. We are using drones, divers, watercraft, canines, and even a sign cutter to thoroughly cover the area. A sign cutter is a highly trained individual on tracking techniques that involve finding and following signs left behind by people or animals. The terrain in our overall search area includes surrounding property, forested rough terrain, the Siletz River, and riverbanks. Due to a thorough search and comprehension of these areas, search operations will now be focusing on a more concentrated area, highlighting the Siletz River. Although the land within the search area has been thoroughly combed, we cannot 100% guarantee that these areas are clear. With thick, rough terrain, it is possible to miss locating a person, especially a small child, hidden by thick brush or other visual impairments, even with specialized equipment and search canines. Official watercraft and divers are concentrating on thoroughly searching the river. We hope to...
No, they have not found the baby yet. Okay.
A lot
And
of the chat that I'm looking at from under the presser is people saying that there's a case kind of like this where the baby was never found and that it's highly likely that that could be the case here.
yes,
as
you
well.
go into that water because you got to remember when you drown, your body feels you sink, and then your body fills up with gases and you float. And you only stay surface for a little bit before those gases leak and you go back under. And with it being a baby is not as much, and the time is even quicker. So he will only be surface for a little bit before he sinks back down to the bottom, and he may never be found.
Sad.
You know, depending on how strong that current is and where it leads. From what I'm hearing, that river leads out to the bay.
And then the ocean.
Yeah. So
That's
not a good thing, not a good situation. That is absolutely for sure.
terrible.
And you know, like I said, at the 3-day mark that we're at now, even if he didn't have any water, if he was out in the wild with no water, you can't go but 3 days before your kidneys shut down from lack of fluids. You can go plenty of time without eating, that's not a problem, but him not having fluid or water or anything to drink is bad. So as time ticks, it's more and more likely that this child is not with us, and there's no evidence of any type of kidnapping. So he's just missing. Same thing in the Sebastian Rogers case. There's no real evidence of a kidnapping,
right?
You know, but they didn't issue an Amber Alert for this child, which is 2 years old and in extreme danger, and they issued an Amber Alert for Sebastian Rogers, and he's 15 years old and was allegedly a runaway.
Right.
So that, to me, that is absolutely crazy that they didn't do this for this child, just in case he's not in that river and somebody drove by and grabbed him.
Yeah.
Because there's still no proof that couldn't have happened.
Right.
It's just no evidence that it did.
In this case with this little boy, there was a gold car in question, and then
They found that.
There was somebody that saw the little boy in the front yard as they drove by.
Yeah, and you got to remember, this is a small area. It's a small community. It's spread out. So a lot of these people in this area know each other. So it's easy to pinpoint who was in the area at what time. But there is a campground down the street from it. And you never know. A lot of transits like to stay in these campgrounds or these wildlife places. And it's possible that somebody could have grabbed this kid. I wouldn't.
Well, yesterday we were saying that the house was up for rent.
Yes.
And that people were able to just come through and like
look
check
at
out
the
the
house.
property.
Yeah, you never know. Somebody could have went by to look at the house. But, you know, I'm sure that they put dogs out there and these dogs have tracked to the water.
Yeah.
And this is what's making them think that, you know, possibly that the baby is done fell in the water.
To bring Dane home soon. As the sheriff and Jess have both said,
Dolly, you're
the search is
psychic. Dolly's
ongoing,
always
and
right.
we are working to bring Dane back to his family.
98% of the time. Was that the whole thing? That was the whole thing. Or was there more?
I just sent you another an actual news update, but let me see if I can get it from, and then we will just have to fast forward to it. I should have known.
Okay. There may be more to it. Let me see. There was just that part and a picture of them.
All right, it's 16 minutes here.
Okay. Did you send it to me?
I'm about to.
All right.
So we saw half of it.
We saw half of it. All right. Let's hit the other half. All right. Let's jump back into it about where we were at.
Have responded to help by reporting to the volunteer staging area. This effectively
It's the guy after
helped us
him.
cover the local area faster
Huh?
than
It's the
would
guy
have
after him.
otherwise been possible.
That's him.
Our communities also have helped by
Well, we'll
sharing
start it here.
official updates
Okay.
from our page, which helped keep other informed and on the lookout. You've also not hesitated to call in tips that might help us bring Dane home. We know this is a difficult time for Dane's family, and we are doing everything we can to bring him home. From the bottom of my heart,
Walking
on
distance to
behalf
the
of Dane's
campground.
family, thank you for all you have done. However, we are not finished.
They possibly found a shoe by the riverbank.
Jason Spano to
no.
provide an update on anticipated next steps for the search of Dane.
Shoe print.
Good evening. I am Sergeant Jason Spano. I know our entire community has been affected by Dane's disappearance, and our hearts are with his family while we work to bring him home. In addition to community members, highly trained personnel, search canines, and specialized equipment have thoroughly covered the local area. This includes ground, water, and air searches. Based on the information from search efforts and following up on tips, we will now be concentrating on a very focused area. So far, the evidence available indicates Dane was at the river's edge before his disappearance. Because of this, we will be focusing the majority of our ongoing resources on searching the Siletz River. We are using drones, divers, watercraft, canines, and even a sign cutter to thoroughly cover the area. A sign cutter is a highly trained individual on tracking techniques that involve finding and following signs left behind by people or animals. The terrain in our overall search area includes surrounding property, forested rough terrain, the Siletz River, and riverbanks. Due to a thorough search and comprehension of these areas, search operations.
All right. All right, guys. If you're just tuning in, make sure you give this video a like. We're at like 300 likes, and we got almost 322, and we got almost 600 people in the room with us. So that means half of you guys haven't hit the like button yet.
You're mean.
You're mean. You heard PJ. Look, she's gonna cry. Don't cry, PJ. Don't worry, babe. Don't worry. They're gonna like the video. They're gonna like it, even though it's a sad situation. Definitely hit the like button for us. It helps us. New people see the videos. It helps spread awareness. So, and it's like ringing the doorbell when you get here. Okay. So definitely hit that like button for us. Let's see if we can get up to 600 likes, and everybody say a little prayer that, you know, maybe they're wrong, but right now it's looking like baby Dane has went into the water. They're focusing their searches downstream to where he could have.
Laura, I just got new lip gloss earlier.
Where he could have washed up at, or, you know, maybe at, and wow, just a sad situation. The worst case we could think about, you know, and prayers to his family. Like right now, we're not going to go into say anything about the family or what they should have done, could have done. Right now, they're dealing with the worst tragedy of possibly their life. They look like really good people. They own a restaurant in the community, third generation restaurant owner from their family.
And she had just stepped into her dad's trailer to feed him dinner.
To
He
feed
had
his dad,
cancer.
he had cancer, so she left to go feed her dad. And in that split second, little baby Dane vanished and most likely has fell into this water. And man, terrible. So it's no reason to really go on about the mother because she's going to be grieving and dealing with the worst stuff in her life.
Yeah.
Something
she did like every day.
Yeah.
Just wasn't the right
Yeah.
thing to do.
And it's real important to realize, and this is for everybody watching, well, you know, even if your grandmother's in here or you a parent, you have to keep your eyes on them little ones. They're fast, right? You don't realize how fast a 2-year-old is because you're thinking, oh, he's right there. But in a matter of a couple seconds, they can be up and gone and moving. Them little toddlers are fast. So you can't
Miss
take.
Mandy said, that's right, Dolly. And I've read several comments from people that know them that say they are great people and loving parents.
Yeah. So we don't want to get into the whole.
I heard she's inconsolable and like isn't able to speak.
You know how the internet is. The internet will make up stuff on you, just like we're going to be talking about in the Sebastian Rogers case. Now
that is nuts. Yes.
Now listen. Now I believe that these people are suspicious in the Sebastian Rogers case, but the internet making stuff up on them is crazy. It's just crazy. Listen, they're so suspicious and so guilty acting. You know, Chris and Katie Proudfoot. That I don't think we need to make things up to make them look bad, more worse than they already do. They look terrible as it is, but we're going to get into that in a little bit after we go through this.
It's not even just that case. It's been like
a lot of cases.
For a couple of years now, it's been a lot of cases where people get
Summer Wells, they did it
right,
too.
Right. They get antsy because there's no movement in the case.
And they start making up
and
stuff.
then they make their own story. It's like you're just watching people that are just making their own novel, like their own fiction novel, like what they say happened.
Yeah, what they think happened. And
but I mean, they say it as if it's happening, like
as it's fact. Yeah, that's what I don't get. And so many people just run with it as it's
they don't
true.
ask for proof or any. And up until now, we've not seen this person or a couple of people. There's been a couple of them I've seen that just push these kind of stories.
Yeah,
we've not seen their track record of being up to par. Like they've never, right? They've done this.
Like you see people come in here and say, "Dolly, you psychic, you're always right," right?
Yeah.
Because I have a track record of 3 years of
yeah, but you
talking.
never say this is exactly what happened with Sebastian
because it's wrong.
Right?
It's wrong to do that. Like I say, I let people know that hey, I think the parents have something to do with it. In my opinion,
they know stuff. Yes,
right. In my
opinion, also.
But I'm not going to get out here and say, well, I seen Chris. Somebody told me Chris was at the gas station at 4:30 that morning, and he was there. You know, when I don't really know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then be like, well, my sources inside that area told me. Well, how can we vet your sources?
You
how,
can't.
Nobody, and people just hear it and they 100% believe it to be true.
And there's 10,000 views on this video, and it's like
I know so many
nobody's asking for proof.
So many people hit me up about that video.
My video this morning too.
And I was like, listen, guys, like it just shows you right there that people will take anything on the internet and believe anything. Okay. Like there's a car, and the police know,
the pieces together,
and the police haven't arrested them. It seems insane, but
that lady is Sherlock Holmes.
Let's don't get too squirrel.
I just think it's crazy. You brought it up,
right? I know, but we'll get into that in a little bit. We got a lot to talk about
because I got a story to tell y'all later.
Yeah, I'll sell y'all a bridge. I'm gonna sell a bridge up here on YouTube. That's next. But we'll get into that in a little bit. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Let's don't get too sidetracked.
We'll now be focusing on a more concentrated area, highlighting the Siletz River. Although the land within the search area has been thoroughly combed, we cannot 100% guarantee that these areas are clear. With thick, rough brush terrain, it is possible to miss locating a person, especially a small child, hidden by thick brush or other visual impairments, even with specialized equipment and search canines. Official watercraft and divers are concentrating on thoroughly searching the river.
What's up, Delaware?
We hope to bring Dane home soon. As the sheriff and Jess have both said, this search is ongoing, and we are working to bring Dane back to
Oregon. This is in Oregon.
We will now be taking a few related questions from members of the media. Please raise your hand, wait to be called on, and state your first and last name as well as your organization.
Dolly Vision.
Shelby Slaughter, KT News. We say River's Edge, which sounds very specific, but then we also say for people to call in and be as specific as possible. So is there any reason to believe that Dane may have been
Raindrop is
at the
2.
River's Edge?
2 years old.
We do not have any evidence.
Yes, you can
to
call in
suggest that
today.
There was an abduction or any criminal activity in this case.
What is the evidence that he was near the River's Edge?
Like I said, we've used the canines and we've used sign cutter as well. There is some impressions down there, but beyond that, that's what we've got so far.
So right there, he's saying there's impressions. So
footprints,
shoe prints. He could have fell, handprint, something in the mud that says a kid was down here. The dogs have tracked to it. He said they used canines, a cutter, which is basically an Indian tracker, like Dolly. You know what I'm saying? A little feather, boom, track your ass down kind of person.
Stop.
Look for broken branches or sniffing the ground. You know what I'm saying? Tasting the dirt. Okay, a cutter. That's what I do, right? When I'm out there in the wild, that's what I do. Okay? Pick up a piece of animal poo and chew on it.
He does not do that.
Okay.
That is disgusting. Stop saying that.
So anyway, they've had the cutter, they had dogs, they have impressions.
A cutter?
That's what they call a basic Indian tracker. He's just an expert on tracking.
Since when? I've never heard of that before.
Hey, that's that Oregon slang. Okay.
Are you from Oregon?
Yeah. I spent some time in Oregon.
Okay.
Okay. Remember in the intro of the video was me at Snake River. That
Idaho.
separates Idaho from Oregon.
Okay.
So even in my intro, guys, y'all see me at the river. That's the Snake River right there in Idaho and Oregon.
Okay.
So,
I understand.
Yeah, I had my time in Oregon. I hit a few of those smoke shops. Okay. I hit a few of those smoke shops when I was there. Dolly is from everywhere, right? I'm native. I'm like Dog the Bounty Hunter. I'm part Cherokee, okay? Part redneck, part Cherokee. I'm all red, okay? I come from a long line of red people.
You're just red, okay.
Dolly's a worldwide nut.
It's difficult, but I'm being told it's 4 to 5 feet, which is relatively.
Short legs chew what? Must have great breath.
Oh yeah.
Now I use a little bit of Crest afterwards, you know what I'm saying? And I was kidding. I
told you.
But they're real native trackers. They'd be picking up the dirt and tasting, smelling it.
I might get to tell a joke today. Only 18 more. Why'd you make it at 20? I was looking forward to telling
jokes. Oh, at 20 super chats, PJ tells some jokes. Okay.
And
they don't want to hear your damn
they
jokes
must
today.
not.
And welcome to the Blessed
bed
Express. They're short legs. You bless when you riding the Dolly Express. And even though this Express is, bad news tonight.
We're struggling today.
Yeah.
We're running out of gas.
It's bad news. We're running out of gas. We're going to break down the train.
Bad news.
The train's going to break.
Time.
Yeah, the train's going to break down on the tracks.
It's terrible.
Okay, so, but yeah.
It's terrible.
Bad news today. Hold on, my child is calling. You're live on the internet, Tiff.
Can you mute it?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
I'm being bribed right now. Am
I
unmuted?
Yes. Who's the best father in the world?
My dad is the best father in the world, y'all.
Okay. All right. So
All right,
you
bye. Love you.
love you too. Peace.
Bye.
She what?
Y'all
Must
heard
have
it,
great
right?
breath.
You heard it. I am the best father in the world. Okay. It only cost me some money for her
Ready
to say
for a
it.
joke.
It only we're gonna need some super chats tonight because that just cost me. That just cost me
You
right
better
there.
shave an eyebrow or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to shave my eyebrow. I was just kidding. I was just kidding. So, but thank you, Joe, for your super chat. My kid just took that. Okay, she just snatched my wallet out of my pocket and ran with it. But I am the best dad in the world now that she done got all my money. That's why she made me mute it. That's why she's like, can you mute for a second? She's like, hey, Pops, I need a little bit of funding. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right. She's like, all right, you the best dad in the world. That's all it takes, right?
Pretty much.
All it takes is a little bit of money, and you all of a sudden you the best dad in the world.
For what I'm being told on the rivers.
Did you have a question?
Their stream is getting taken over by Samuel.
Yeah, Samuel is killing their
Yeah,
stream.
we're at 72 hours now. We have not discussed when we will stop searching. As far as we're going to go until we have decided that we've covered everything we can cover.
You do that.
I didn't even realize I had it
You
open.
turned
Dolly, PJ.
Hi, Dolly. It's Kristen. How are you?
Hey, Kristen. I'm doing pretty good. We're just covering this case on baby Dane.
I know. Did you hear the joke I told you guys on the chat app? It says, "What do you tell a lion to run faster?"
What do you tell a lion to run faster?
Mufasa.
Mufasa? That's from Lion King, right? Okay. All right. All right. What do you think about this small 2-year-old being missing in Oregon?
I'm afraid he went into the water.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like that. That's what the police seem to think. That's what the tracker or cutter is what they call it. Thanks. So, and they have some impression.
Didn't they the dogs lose the smell at the water?
Yeah. And I guess they track to the water.
Mm-hmm.
And at
So
2
what
years
happened?
old, he couldn't swim.
Was he just by himself? Was he by himself,
his mother was outside with him, and she walked over to take her father some food because he has cancer, and she just took her eye off of him for just a couple seconds, and when she came back out, he was missing.
Yeah, see, and everybody wants to do neglect on her, but I don't think it's neglect. I mean, that stuff happens, so hopefully they don't give her neglect. So
Yeah. And I think right now ain't the time. I think right now is the time to find the child first before they worry about any kind of pointing the finger or blaming anybody, or, she could let her grieve first, before there's any situations behind it. That's what I would think anyway.
Well, I hope so. I hope they find him. Well, I hope you and PJ have a good night. Thanks for taking my call. I had to tell you that joke.
Okay, you be good.
You too.
All right,
peace.
Bye. All right, so let's get through this, people, and then we'll open up the phone line so you can call in and give your opinion on what's going on in this situation.
Looking at the square mileage covered, you said 2 miles of waterway, is that correct?
At least 2 miles of the Siletz River has been covered by divers.
2 miles.
Forward, are you going to refocus on that 2 miles or move downstream?
We'll probably do a combination of both. The divers we've had a lot of support from outside agencies with the dive teams, and they have done a very good job for us, and we appreciate them. But they are, obviously it's very physically challenging to be diving.
You know what I would suggest, PJ, is they go whatever distance they think he could have made it in 2 days, go farther and dam the river. And that way
it stops it.
It stops them.
That's
you know
a
what I'm
great
saying?
idea, yeah.
Diving on the river is very fast right now. So they will be back and continue to work for us. And it's up to them and the search and rescue people. They're the experts, and they will decide what they're going to focus on.
So is the ground search finished?
No, we have not concluded the ground search. No.
Okay. And how does the scale change? I mean, it sounds like you're saying like you're focusing on the river. How does that affect the ground search?
The ground search will continue. It may or may not be scaled back, but it's continuing until we have decided we've covered enough ground. But we are focusing the resources we have and the search area to the river and the river's edge as well.
Going back to your resources, just how many different agencies are in the have been going in and out of the river, and how many divers?
We have had
What a cute child.
13 divers,
Mhm.
and they span from all over the state. I will miss somebody if I named them all, but several sheriff's offices have sent dive teams to us.
Two-parter. Have you found any of Dane's clothing in your search? And two, when you say he was near the riverbank before he disappeared, was he near the riverbank by his home, or had he wandered off?
Let's see. So the first question is no, we have not found any clothing.
Okay.
The second question is he was relatively near his home, correct?
Okay.
What did one penny say to the other penny? We make sense.
We make sense. What did one penny say to the other penny? We make sense. All right, Short Legs has jokes tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a pretty good one. So, did you send me something? Pictures
I sent
of
you a
them?
bunch of different things. There's a bunch of different there's a picture, a full body, and then the picture of the area he's last, like an aerial of the last.
Okay, we'll get into it right after this.
So the organization, as far as staging volunteers here at this park where we all are today, is no longer being actively maintained because there are other priorities with not priorities. There are other commitments that those volunteers have that they have to fulfill on their own. If the community chooses to continue to search on their own, again, keeping safety in mind. This is a rough forested terrain, right? The water can be dangerous.
Jeez, make me look fat.
Keep your own safety in mind. Do not search after dark. Again, low visibility, your basic regular awareness as far as being outdoors in the wilderness. And then a big reminder about private property. We don't have permission to be on other people's property. So keeping in mind, you need permission to be there if you're searching. This concludes our community update. Thank you again for your assistance and support throughout search efforts. For more information and updates on the search for Dane, continue to follow our Flash Alert page, which is flashalert.net/ID/LCSO.
Sorry, she asked
Thank
what the
you.
water temperature was. Do you guys know that?
Between 44 and 46 degrees.
Thank you.
Okay, not freezing. The water's not freezing. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's open up the phone lines, PJ.
Okay.
And
I
let's
don't know if my headset works, so I don't know how much I'll.
hear. Okay.
Yeah,
if
we'll get
anything
work.
needs to be fed,
Yeah,
tell
it doesn't work.
You can't hear me at all? You may be able to hear the callers. You want me to
Okay.
try unplugging and plugging back
I don't
in?
know. I tried to tell you that before we started. I can't hear nothing.
Okay, what about now?
I mean, you gotta talk.
No, I can't hear nothing.
Nope, I can't hear nothing.
Now. Hello? Yeah, I can hear myself now. You can't hear nothing? Okay, well, I'll take some calls then. The call-in number is on the screen, 757-797-6694. Also, my mods, you can throw it into the chat room. And what do you guys think? Is this baby in the water? I mean, according to the police, it seems like that may be the case, especially with the evidence that they have on hand right now that, there's impressions near the water, and there ain't, they live in a pretty remote area where there's not a lot of people on the water. So most likely if there is impressions on the river edge of the river, they are coming from baby Dane. Okay. Yeah. Did I close the phone lines? No, they're open. Let me refresh them. You guys are quiet tonight. It was me. He's in the water. I think he is in the water, and with the temps, drown or hypothermia. Well, the water's at 45 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
That's not, I mean, it's cold, but it's not like freezing cold. It's not going to freeze up, ice up. It ain't like you're going to fall in it and just instantly freeze to death. But at 2 years old and can't swim, and we seen the river on the news, and it looked like it was running pretty heavily. And like I said, the locals were saying in the last 3 days with the rainfall that the water was really choppy, I guess is the word, or the current was strong in it, and it was really high. Over the last 3 days, the water has went down. The current's still pretty strong. And, I don't know exactly how far. I'm not an expert in how far you would travel in the water. Look at Riley Strain. He had traveled miles.
I know.
He was miles away from where he went into the water, and he was a big boy, right?
Tall. He was super tall, like 6 foot something.
And there's a certain amount of time to where they knew it, to look for him, because they knew his body would fill with gases. And they started to immediately.
Knock. Who's there? Cash. Cash who? I knew you were a nut. Smiley face.
Cashew. I knew you was a nut. Yeah, like cashew. Okay.
That's a good one.
I went to my heart doctor today. People a little off topic, but I'll fill you guys in because it goes with the joke. And I had some blood tests done, and they say, my bad cholesterol, I need to get down a little bit, and my good cholesterol needs to go up a little bit, right? And I was like, well, what can I eat to help my good cholesterol? And they were saying like almonds and peanuts and different. I'm gonna start eating acorns like a squirrel, okay? But they said that would help my good cholesterol. So I guess I'm gonna be, when y'all see me sitting around here snacking on peanuts and almonds and things like that, why, because I need to get my good cholesterol levels up. But all in all, I went to cardiac rehab today, and it's first time I've been in rehab. Okay. But it's not for drugs. It's not for drugs. So I got to do like a workout regimen, an hour and a half a day there at the hospital while they hook me to machines for 18 different sessions. Okay. 18 different sessions of me hooked to monitors like the $1 Million Man. Okay. And I got to do 4 lectures on nutrition, medicines. I feel like I'm taking college classes. Okay. So Dolly's about to get into shape, and they told me some of the foods and things I need to cut out, and it sucks. I'm going to have to go back to eating like a rabbit and all of that. Okay. I just wanted to fill y'all in because that kind of went off that joke, and people have been asking me, how did everything go at the heart doctor today? That's pretty much, it was more orientation of what I'm going to be going through coming up for the next 2 months, right? 3 times a week, I'm going to be at the gym pumping weights, right? While I'm hooked to machines. So, but that's just to get my heart back strong, because we got to keep Dolly around for the next 100 years. That's the plan. Rest in peace to Dolly Parton's husband. He passed away yesterday. Did you hear about that?
We talked about it.
Yeah. So, I want to live a little while. So I got to take a little bit better care of myself. And you viewers, y'all can't be stressing me out. Okay. That's what the doctor said. I can't be having a whole lot of stress. I need to meditate, chill, get my mind right. All right. So I can't be getting into things that upset me. And it's crazy because, I'm into true crime. It's pretty stressful. The Sebastian Rogers stuff gave me a heart attack. Okay. That's what I'm blaming it on. I was stressing over that case, worried to death, going, and had a damn heart attack. So now I'm still trying to recover from that, but the stress of these missing kids, it's hard not to stress sometimes or not to worry. And it's weird because I'm a father. I naturally worry. I don't know. I used to be, when I was young, I didn't really care about a whole lot of stuff. But as I got older, I got softer, like a big old, what's something that's soft? Marshmallow. Okay. A damn big old marshmallow. And now I'm soft as shit. A sad movie will make me cry. I need a box of hankies, right? It's just terrible. I'm a big emotional wreck as I got old. I used to be tough as nails. Cool Whip has just been a member for 17 months. Take official easy way to get good to go up. Okay. Yeah, I don't eat a lot of seafood. You know, I guess
it's a pill.
yeah, I know it's a pill. I'm saying naturally I don't eat a lot of seafood. So you gotta take care of yourself out there, guys. So let's all say a little prayer for baby Dane and his family. If he is, you know, making his way to heaven, we want to make sure that he has a good crossing. And if he's not, we want him found before he does make his way, you know, to heaven. Destiny Rose, thank you for being a member for 7 months. Awesome. Y'all guys jump on the Dolly Blessed Express. You know, you're blessed when you ride the express, baby. Usually I have the sound effects on and we open up the gates of heaven for you. But today we just, you know, we don't have it running. Man. Okay. I
Yes,
guess.
Kristen, your shirt went out.
Yes,
yesterday.
we've been working on merch, t-shirts, working on the house.
To see on the site.
I've been doing a lot of stuff, working on new layouts for the channel, working around the house, making merchandise. And like I said, I had a doctor's appointment today, and tomorrow I start my actual cardiac rehab.
Mm-hmm.
So I start tomorrow. So y'all won't get me in the afternoons, because afternoons I'm gonna be pumping weights until I'm big like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, when I come up in here looking like Popeye and shit, you're gonna be like, "Damn, Dolly look like a rock." I'm gonna be like, "Okay." When I'm up in here with my shirt off, I was waiting for PJ to say something, but she didn't say nothing. She didn't say nothing. All right. But yeah, I'm going on this whole weight loss, get in shape mission. So y'all be prepared for that when I'm grumpy and hungry. Okay, when you're like, why is Dolly being an asshole? Just let everybody know I'm just hungry. Okay, I'm eating rabbit food and salads, and it just ain't working out. Okay, Pete, speaking of grumpy people, since the phone lines are quiet, why don't we jump into this Karen Reed stuff?
Yes.
Okay, because her lawyers look big mad today. Okay, speaking of grumpy, they look like they didn't eat.
They did.
What is it? Jackson and Unetti. That his name?
Yes.
Okay. For anybody in here, if y'all followed the Karen Reed case, you guys press 1 for me so I know how many people or know what's going on in this case. Now, if you have no clue about the Karen Reed case, press 2 and we'll give you a little bit of a rundown of what the Karen Reed case actually is. Okay. So if you're familiar with it, press 1. If you're not, press 2 and we'll kind of recap what happened in the Karen Reed case for you before we jump into talking about it. Okay, most people do know. Laura, she don't know. One Feather don't really know too much about the Karen Reed case. Kelly, the OG, not real familiar with it. Okay, so most people know about it, which is good. So that way we don't have to go deep dive into it.
Now the phone
wants to ring. Okay. Dolly. Yes.
Hey.
Hey, it's Doug.
I've got to talk to him a long time, man.
Where you been, Doug? I thought you fell in the river and I was going to have to come look for you with a cutter and some bloodhounds.
I'm vacationing.
Oh, you vacationing? Some people
must be nice.
You can't hide money, Doug.
Hey, mama take care of me, man.
Mama take care of you. Okay, how you been? Everything good with you?
Oh, everything good. Vacationing, enjoying myself.
Okay.
Having a good time.
Man, I'm at the heart doctor. You on vacation? There's something wrong with this.
No, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, okay. Have you seen the story we're covering coming out of Oregon? Baby Dane missing 3 days, 2 years old.
You got to keep your eye on your children, man.
I know that's the sad thing.
You can't take your eyes off your kids for 1 minute nowadays,
Doug
man.
sounds like Wolfman Jack. Love it.
KT says you sound like Wolfman Jack.
Wolfman Jack.
Wolfman Jack.
It looked like Andre the Giant. Sound like Wolfman. I got it going on.
Yeah, sound like Wolfman Jack, big as Andre the Giant. Hillbilly Jim. That's who you remind me of, is Hillbilly Jim. Remember Hillbilly Jim?
I remember Hillbilly Jim.
Yeah, that's who you kind of remind me of. But he's big, or Big John. You know, you're not quite Big John Stud, but you're more Hillbilly Jim than Big John Stud. But you're a big dude.
I used to go to all that wrestling.
Did you?
Years ago. I met Andre the Giant.
I met Andre the Giant when I was a kid. He picked me up and put me on his shoulder. He was super sweaty too. He had just got done wrestling,
Ew.
so he was like wet. But he picked me up and put me on his
Ew.
shoulder.
We had a place called Memorial Auditorium in Chattanooga.
Oh, I used to go to the what was it? The Columbus Arena in Columbus, Georgia, and that's where I met him at. I think it may be called the Columbus Arena, but it's where the fairground is. They would have wrestling like once a month there, and my mom used to always take me. That's she loved wrestling, but that's where I got to meet Andre the Giant, wrestler number 1, number 2, and
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you know this, Miss Ann that comes up here, her dad is wrestler number 3. Which
Well, I
wrestler
didn't
number
know that.
3, when 1 and 2 couldn't show up, 3 took their place as the tag team. So wrestler number 1 and wrestler number 2. Number 3 was Miss Ann's father.
Ah,
So when I was a kid, they were my favorite wrestlers, wrestler number 1 and wrestler number 2. They wore the white mask with the black spots. And when I was talking to Miss Ann, because Miss Ann's from Georgia, I said, yeah, when I was a kid, I used to go to wrestling all the time. My favorite wrestlers were wrestler number 1 and wrestler number 2. And she goes, well, that's crazy you say that, because my dad he wrestled as wrestler number 1 and wrestler number 2. He was wrestler number 3, so he was the fill-in because he looked just like both of them. So he could put a mask on, and when they were like couldn't make it, he would show up for them. And Miss Ann took me in her house, and she had wrestler number 1's mask, the boots, all of it framed up on the wall. I just thought that was crazy. Coincidental.
it was fun to meet all of them. I just wished I'd have got their autographs.
Yeah.
We went every Saturday. It comes to Chattanooga every Saturday. Tojo was my favorite person.
You remember Chief
Tojo,
Wahoo McDaniel?
Yes, sir. And Tojo Yamamoto.
Tojo, Ricky Steamboat. I remember all the old wrestlers. The new stuff I can't really follow.
Tojo.
Tojo Yamamoto was back there with Andre the Giant.
Now, who's the greatest wrestler of all time? Woo!
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair, baby. Ric Flair. Limousine ride, jet flying. Willin' Dillon, kiss stealing. Right? I love me some Ric Flair, boy.
And Tommy Rick.
I want to meet Ric Flair before he dies. I definitely do. I swear.
I sent you, I thought in your DM that when Women Design sent it to me, she met him in Las Vegas, and it's like a little small clip of him just doing the woo.
Oh yeah. I mean, he shows up at a lot of these wrestling conventions now to sign autographs. Even if I meet him like that, I want to meet Ric Flair before he dies.
You better hurry, because that boy
dying.
No, he ain't dying, but he's old as shit. You know what I'm saying? He looks like a skeleton now. But I want to meet him for sure. I think that'd be really cool. I want to do the woo with him. You know? All right, Doug.
All right. We'll talk to you later. I'm still around.
All right. Peace.
Peace out. Bye, PJ.
Bye,
Later.
PJ.
Now, for you guys that don't know, me and PJ had the pleasure of hanging out with Doug when we was in Tennessee searching for Sebastian. We had a meet and eat.
That's a big bitch.
And he is a big dude. I mean, when I say big, I mean 7 foot, 300 pounds.
There's a picture in your intro video of all of us, and he's like the dead center, just the giant.
When you see the intro video and you see a really big dude with the beard in the intro overalls, that is Doug. Okay, Doug is a big man. He could easily be a professional wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
When he was younger, he's a little bit older now.
Probably not.
You don't need to be body slamming Doug now, but when he was a young buck, he could have easily been in the WWF.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
for sure.
definitely the size of a professional wrestler. Dolly.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm down here in Woodruff, South Carolina.
Okay, who's this? Where are you calling from? I mean, you just said South Carolina. Hey, Stephanie.
I'm down here in Woodruff, South Carolina.
Uh-huh.
Are you on fire?
I'm sorry?
She said, are you on fire? That's Myrtle Beach.
Isn't that, well, I'm bad at direction. Never mind. Just ignore me.
Okay, I will.
Okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to let you know
Uh-huh.
that I've met Ric Flair.
Have you?
Yeah, he was driving through Woodruff in his white Corvette.
Cool.
This was back in the 70s, and I was still young and pretty, and we was all cruising around, and he is the man.
He is the man. Okay.
He's the man.
I mean, I knew that anyway.
Well, I mean, everybody knows that, but old Rick had a stroke. Remember when he had a stroke?
I don't remember
down
that.
in Atlanta.
I know. Yeah, I think so. I just watched a documentary on Ric Flair the other night.
I love me some Rick.
You know,
y'all keep it real up there. I love watching y'all.
all right, you be good. You stay safe.
You too, babe. Bye-bye.
All right, peace.
Bye.
All right, she just called in to say Ric Flair was the man.
I know.
Okay, limousine ride, jet flying. She must have been on the jet. She's like, I was pretty back in my day. You know, we just cruising around. She's part of the Mile High Club, PJ. She's part of the Mile High Club with Ric Flair. Okay, I bet there's 1,000 women can call in and tell Ric Flair stories. That dude done been with every woman in the region. Okay, what was he on the North Carolina? He was on the Southern region too. Most of the time he spent in the South and the East Coast until he went mainstream national.
I don't know that much about him.
Yeah. Ric Flair's a cool dude. He couldn't keep a wife to save his life. Right? He just knew that he wasn't meant to be married. He talks about it in a documentary, like, he loved these women, but he just couldn't put down drinking and he couldn't stop sleeping with women. He just couldn't. They said he started off a really good guy and he turned into Ric Flair. Like once he got that persona of Ric Flair, it morphed together, kind of like Jimmy and Dolly. I'm messing with PJ, but he just became Ric Flair all the time. Same thing with Randy Macho Man Savage, that he became that dude because he acted that out all the time. And eventually that was just how he was. He became Macho Man. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, but anyway, back on track. Karen Reed. All right. We were on Karen Reed. We went from Karen Reed to Ric Flair. How squirrel, right? So Karen Reed, in a nutshell, she was in a snowstorm with her boyfriend that was a police officer, John O'Keefe. Okay. They were at a bar. They looked like they were at a couple bars. Dolly's been to those bars. I went up there, hung out for a little bit, went to where John O'Keefe got hit by a car, went to the bars. But this is what happened. They were invited to an after party at a police officer's house. So they go to the police officer's house, and allegedly Karen Reed says she drops off John O'Keefe. Now the police officers in the house say that John O'Keefe never came inside. He was dead on their front lawn. Okay. So the Karen Reed conspiracy people, right? Don't get mad at me, guys. That's just what they call you guys.
They're gonna.
The Karen Reed conspiracy people believe that John O'Keefe went in the house and he was beat to death.
And he had a dog attack his arm.
A dog attacked him and he died, and they drug him outside and they threw him in the yard and left him for dead.
There.
Okay.
And Googled how long it'll take for him to die out there.
How long to die in the cold. Now, that has been debunked. Okay. A lot of the stuff that in this conspiracy story now has been debunked. And we're going to go into that a little bit of how it's been debunked and what's going on in the case. So the state alleges that Karen Reed was fighting with John O'Keefe. John O'Keefe gets out the car and Karen Reed backs up into him at
28 miles an hour.
I thought it was 24.
No.
Was it 28? You sure?
It's either 26 or 28. Okay.
Okay.
ChatGPT.
Let's just say over 20 miles an hour. She backs into him, hits him, and leaves him there in the cold. So she goes home, calls her daddy at 3:00 in the morning.
I think I hit something.
And says she thinks she hit something. And in the beginning, when she was arrested, she went to court and they were trying to say it was a tragic accident. A tragic accident. Okay. A blogger gets into it. A YouTube personality goes by the name of Turtle Boy.
Don't give him any clout.
It ain't a clout because he's a terrible person.
He's a terrible person.
He's a terrible person. But he starts making this conspiracy that the police killed John O'Keefe and covered it up. And then soon as that kind of played out, Karen Reed started saying it.
I think she's the one that fed it to him.
Or fed it to him. Either or. They've kind of.
You were right. 24.2 miles an hour.
24. Dolly always right. Okay. Dolly always right. So this conspiracy kind of spiraled. It kind of grew and grew and grew. And a lot of women backed Karen Reed, right? Which to me, Karen Reed is a real bougie, rich, $3,000 outfit. Wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire kind of woman.
And is donating money wearing the $3,000 outfit. It's insane.
Yeah, people are donating money to her and she's showing up with like Fendi bags and Gucci and shit, right? Like it's a hard one. Okay. So anyway, they've been going to court. The first trial ended in a hung jury. Okay. A mistrial. The jury couldn't decide. What was like 8 people?
Valerie said Dolly might be getting stabbed.
I might be getting stabbed. I think it was 9 people found Karen Reed guilty and 3 people didn't.
I didn't see the numbers. They gave numbers?
Yeah, there were some rumors.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Dolly's always right. So just trust me.
Okay, yeah.
So a few people couldn't decide if she was guilty or not. And the prosecution had a really shitty, at that time, the state had a really shitty prosecutor.
And the little police force they have for the area didn't have all the way they executed that crime scene, I think, was crazy.
Terrible.
But they were in the middle of a blizzard.
In a blizzard, right? So here's the thing is the police did do a shitty job investigating this case, but
they collected evidence in solo cops. The defense made that
but that
this
don't
big
mean she
clown
didn't
show.
do it. It just
doesn't.
means they did a bad job of investigating
Just like
it.
Casey Anthony definitely did something to her baby.
Yeah.
And she didn't get charged. And it's a shame that she thinks she's going to be an influencer. And I'll be damned.
Squirrel.
Over my dead body.
Squirrel. Okay. So let's try to stay on track.
I'm tired. I'm getting ready to go here in a second.
All right, because we're trying to explain this. So basically, Karen Reed's first trial ended up in a mistrial. So they're getting ready to retry Karen Reed. And the big thing in the conspiracy is Jennifer McCabe searched how long to die in the cold. And they were saying this was done while John O'Keefe was laying in the grass in the yard.
In her bed.
And she was at home in bed at 2:30 in the morning. What she really did was when she went back and found the body with Karen Reed was panicking. How long does it take to die in the cold? So she searched it. Now, the conspiracy people said that she searched at 2:30 in the morning, which celebrate technology.
Doesn't even make sense, though. Like, you'd have to be a cold-hearted human to, like, just be curious, like, oh, I know he's laying out there. Let's see, let's ask Chat GPT how long it'll take him to die while he's out there. It's just weird. Like, the whole theory didn't make sense to me.
So they basically debunked that, and Celebrate came out and said, well, that search was done at 6 in the morning. It wasn't done at 2:30.
Well, the pro Karen people still think it's there.
The pro Karen,
like, no matter what you say, they just still believe that it's their way, that she Googled that at 1, whatever, 2 o'clock, whatever time it was. And no matter what you say, it's like arguing with a rock.
Yeah, you can't tell. Once people get their mind made up, and this is kind of the same way in the Sebastian Rogers situation that we're going to be talking about later. Once your mind is set on something, you shut the blinders. You don't keep a good view to everything that's going on. You're just like, you're convinced, and that's all that matters, right? So basically, she's going to be retried, and they have been debunking things in the case. I hope it is too. Dolly. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Dolly, yeah?
Yeah. You got to turn me down in the background.
Okay. I will. Hey, did they say anything about the lake or the river or whatever he's in? Is there a bunch of like weeds and stuff like that going through there where he has to, where they have to cut it all up to look for him? Do you know?
That I don't know. It's moving pretty strong. So that's what the best scenario is. If he did go in the lake, that he gets hung up on something, so they find him. If he don't, he could be pushed, miles. Even Riley Strand was miles away when they found Riley Strand. Yeah,
I was just gonna say that. Yeah. Hey, how many subscribers do you have now?
62,000 plus.
Woohoo! Okay, I hadn't heard in a little while how many you had. And where's Mr. Combs?
Mr. Coons is still here. He's in the camper right now.
I ain't seen him for a long time.
Guarding the sidewalk.
He's got guarding the sidewalk. He's hanging out. He's hanging out with JLR.
No.
Oh God.
Oh,
No.
okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. You have a good evening. Hi, PJ.
Hi.
Peace.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Dolly, PJ. Hello. You got to turn me down in the background.
All right, hold on. No, you answered the phone. Hold on.
Is this Sweet Leaf?
Probably.
All right, I got it.
All right.
How
What's
y'all
up?
doing?
Is this Sweet Leaf?
Yeah.
Okay. What's up, Sweet Leaf?
Okay, I got some questions on what was we talking about? My son came in the room and I had to run outside real quick.
Well, we were talking about the young boy, baby Dane, that went missing, and now we were talking about Karen Reed.
Okay, Karen Reed, that's right. Okay, what I want to know is when Jennifer, when that call was made, when that Google was done, her Fitbit showed that she was standing still. And her husband got the phone and made a phone call. Well, that's what she thought. She didn't know that he was looking up. Okay, I'm on the phone. Okay, so her husband Googled that.
Uh-huh.
But she didn't know that. And so it was later because he had walked off, and that's about what I know.
Okay.
You know about that?
Sure.
Yeah, that ain't what happened. But
yeah, but it is. But it is because her Fitbit was standing still. Oh, it's when he went upstairs to the bedroom. When he because he said that his wife was in bed with him when Jennifer and all this stuff was going on, and he woke up to her, saying this and this and this and this.
Yeah, that was the next morning. Karen called her frantic. And yeah, that was the next morning.
That was the next morning.
I don't know anything about a Fitbit or him doing the search and them
Yes.
sharing cell bright data, and I don't.
Yeah, her Fitbit is showing that she was standing still when he was saying that they was in bed together, and he woke up to all this, and they was upstairs.
But the cell bright data proved that it was because her web browser was already open.
Yeah, we're
at
talking
that
about
time.
the phone calls. We're not talking about the Fitbit.
Yeah, but the Fitbit is showing that she was downstairs and she was still, but she didn't know anything about the Google search. Her husband took the phone at 2:30 in the morning and Googled that.
Okay, you've been drinking the Kool-Aid. You've been drinking the Kool-Aid, Sweet Leaf.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you drank the good Kool-Aid. 'Cause that's
Kool-Aid.
that's far from true.
She's got jungle juice in her cup.
You need to research more and listen to more of the media and more of what's going on.
True.
What media did that come
That's
from?
misinformation.
Even Karen Reed said so.
Karen
Even Karen Reed was.
Karen Reed is a liar. She said she didn't hit him. I mean, come on now, Sweet Leaf.
And then she said, "What if I hit him?" And in his incapacitated state, he fell over and died. Like,
okay, Sweet Leaf, you be good.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, so we didn't really get to finish telling what happened.
Okay.
Dolly.
Hi, Dolly. They were halfway there. Hi, Juliet, Ohio.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, how you doing?
All right.
I mean, there was a Fitbit. There was a phone, right?
Yeah, but we were discussing the search being debunked at 2:30 in the morning. It was really done at 6 in the morning when they were panicking over finding his body.
Well, yeah. I mean, but the whole discrepancy between devices has been creeping up lately. Like reading it in the media is annoying. the last caller was trying to say something about like the Fitbit, right?
Huh?
Okay, what's your take on where'd you leave your Fitbit?
I don't have a Fitbit.
You have an Apple Watch. It's literally underneath the couch on the floor somewhere where it was charging, where I was waiting for you to freaking sign out of it. It's probably in the couch at this point.
No, it's on the charger
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then
so
mine's
it's on
somewhere
a
in the floor.
charger. Did it travel anywhere on the charger? Like
Then
Her Fitbit traveled.
it did not travel on its own, right?
Right.
Okay, but
Okay.
you're jumping from two arguments. What we were discussing was the search wasn't made at 2:30 in the morning.
Right,
So
they're
the whole-
saying that the
It
search.
wasn't.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to get to that. Okay. The phone thing does not add up to the Fitbit, whatever they call it. Like the timing, the placement, the location of everything is not adding up. Like I'm like an OCD person.
Uh-huh.
If you tell me one thing is there, like my sock is here, my keys are here. I have like severe ADHD with that stuff,
Uh-huh.
I'm not buying the story that it should match up. That's all I'm saying.
So
I've been reading this.
So you still think the highest law to die in the cold was at 2:30 in the morning?
That what?
That the highest long to die in the cold search was done at 2:30 in the morning.
No, I don't believe that at all.
Okay.
So what?
So then that basically shoots the whole conspiracy down.
Right. Well, how does that coincide with the Fitbit, though?
Someone was moving around with some gadget, one or the other. Now you're experiencing my dyslexia.
Uh-huh.
When the media keeps coming forward with like these stories, right? They're not good writers, by the way.
Okay.
Right. Is it media like Turtle Boy media, or is it media like CNN media?
Like mainstream media.
Okay.
Okay, because I haven't seen this. I haven't seen anything about the Fitbit.
Okay, they're the ones who like want to reconstruct an argument when they discuss the case. Okay, if they discuss the case, which has been like low down, like Karen Reed is not as big of a media thing as it used to be, apparently.
Uh-huh.
But it should be. It should be. And this information, they're just like stumbling upon it like but fourth graders trying to write like their first essay. It's really annoying.
Yeah,
That's all I wanted to say.
even if the media is bad, the evidence is there to say there was no conspiracy.
Big Bird says she wants to tell us something about the patterns of her mom being hit by that flow truck in comparison to John.
Oh no, I don't believe that at all. No, I don't.
I mean, do you believe that the officers inside the house
beat him up and the dog ate his arm?
And the dog ate his arm? Like,
no.
Okay. What do you think happened to John O'Keefe?
I think that he was set up by his buddies in the force, and
Why?
Why? I don't know.
And then they would just leave him out there in front of one of their houses?
That seems
The
a little.
why is what I'm looking for. The why.
There has to be a why.
Yeah, there's no motive for them to. I mean, you could say that.
Hey,
what's the guy that like
never,
Karen Reed?
Hold on.
Higgins.
PJ and Dolly,
yeah.
I will never say I know something I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll leave it at that.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're
but
saying
these are
that
my
Higgins liked Karen Reed, so they murdered John to get him out the way so he could hook
She
up
must
with
be
Karen.
one fine piece
No,
of ass.
I don't think
Yeah,
she likes
right.
Karen Reed at all.
Yeah, I think you can see she's crazy. You can see it in her
I
eyes.
think she rubbed people the wrong way, whether she's guilty or not. I have no way to judge that right now. I'll leave it at that and have a good night.
Except for she
guys.
said
All
I
right,
have hit him.
All right. Peace.
All right, good night.
Her own
Bye,
words.
peace.
Hey, listen, here's the thing. Okay, they want to talk about Karen Reed. Dolly.
Hey.
Hey.
Am I live?
Yeah, you're live. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Portland, Maine. It's
Portland.
Esther.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. It's going well.
Awesome.
I am calling because I'm listening to this with the Karen Reed, and I'm a big Karen Reed, free Karen Reed.
Okay, good. I like to
And-
hear from free Karen Reed people. I think
I
I like the
do.
debate.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. And you believe in timelines. You believe in truth and you believe in transparency.
Yeah, I think I do. I try to.
Okay. Well, there's been logged on black and white. I've watched it, and it shows that Jen had the watch on. Jen went to bed.
Okay.
Mr. Fat Matt, her husband, decided to sit downstairs, text, how's long to die in cold. He did it again at 6-something in the morning. She's asleep. Next thing you know, she's having a heart attack, and boy, is her watch going all over the place. I love you. I love you. I love your show, but I do not like how you guys are. Listen, he was killed by his buddies, and he was confronted.
Why?
Why? Because he was confronted by Mr. Higgins. Mr. Higgins probably was telling John O'Keefe
or Karen Reed's
he wanted his girlfriend.
Yeah, but do you know? Okay, what about when John was dead? Karen Reed texts Higgins and says he's dead,
and didn't get told he was dead yet.
right?
That's not a. That's
she
not
was
a
trying
fact.
to make a booty call before the man was even in the ground. That is a fact. That is a
Because
fact.
they
It was
went
a
on.
fact.
They all, and you're
It is
right.
a fact.
And they all went on vacation, and John cheated on her. So she thought,
No,
oh,
he
well,
did
then-
not.
Fact in that. We don't know that for sure.
no fact
but what
in
we
that
do
at all.
know was
There
John,
is fact in that. You guys have not followed the case. There is
Yes,
fact.
We're not
that-
involved in the real life.
Let's-
No.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
On stand.
Hold on. Okay, can I speak?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so she didn't like the kids. She didn't want to be a parent. She made that very clear that she liked the life that Higgins was living, the go out party life, single, no kids. John was a good dude, taking care of his adopted kids, right? And she didn't want to be a mother to these adopted kids. She made that evidently clear. She made that clear. Would you agree with that?
No, I don't.
Okay, you don't agree with that, but the text messages say different. She says in the text
So
messages,
you've never been in an argument with your partner. Listen,
but what
I've
I'm
been in
saying, this
many
is not an
arguments.
argument. This is what she's telling another person, Higgins. She's telling Higgins this. She's telling him this. We can't skip
you
what
don't
she's
keep your enemies
saying.
close. You don't
Like,
keep your enemies close.
listen, ma'am, you can't have what works for you, then throw out what don't work for you. It's all of it. Okay. You can't just throw out pieces of it as you choose to throw it out, because then you're saying, okay, you just overlook everything that makes her look like a bad person. I hate to say that, but that's true. If you're taking out, if you're saying she wasn't saying these things to this man, and she wasn't cheating on John O'Keefe, and she wasn't wanting to be a parent, and she made that evidently clear.
She kissed Higgins before they went
And
into
then
town, I thought.
he's not even in the ground dead yet, and she's calling him up and letting him know he's dead so she can get a booty call.
She didn't.
No, as a
call him
woman,
up, though. That's
as a
fact.
woman,
Call
would
log.
you want a man?
Call
Let me
log.
ask you this: would you want a man to treat you that way? If it was a man, that did this, would you support them the same way?
I'm glad you are both here. Karen brings
As
full
in-
moon.
I guess I'm not understanding your question.
I mean, you supporting a cheating woman, but if it was a cheating man, would you support a
They
cheating
weren't-
man as a woman?
When you got to speak of the story from the beginning. You remember the trip with the officers?
But you're assuming that he cheated. You have no proof that he cheated. But what we do have proof of is these text messages that she sent. We have proof of that. We're going off, you're going off hearsay. You're going off a hearsay about a trip, but you have no proof to. I'm trying to stick with, let's talk about what there's proof of. You're
I
talking
think
about
she's saying that
rumors.
when they were on stand and the poor girl was up there saying how Karen cussed her out, that he had been cheating with her.
Yeah, there's no proof into what you're saying. And I'm trying to stick to what's been proven in court.
I understand with what you're saying, but at the end of it, this woman loved John. She
don't act like she loved him.
She don't act like she loves
don't
John.
act like she loved him, and I will stand on that until, oh my God.
No, and you're right.
She got
So many
asked
other-
if John was okay while he was still being freaking worked on, and she told freaking Carrie that he was dead. If this man was hit by something in the front yard and I'm inconsolable, I'm not going to tell nobody he's dead until somebody comes to tell me, hey, look, he's no longer with us. And even then, I'm still going to be like, no, I don't believe you. I'm not going to sit there and say, hey, he's dead.
No, okay, but I will also say I have a cleaning business, and I clean for a bunch of those police officers from that Massachusetts.
That has nothing to do with nothing.
I know, but I've talked to insiders, and they're pissed. They're dirty cops at the end of the
They
day.
can be dirty cops, and she can still hate him at the same time.
They could be the most crooked cops in the world. That don't mean she didn't run him over.
And my daughter's a veterinarian. She does surgeries all day, and she's like, that's clearly dog bites.
They're
Look,
not dog bites.
That is not dog bites, ma'am. The dog didn't have.
Where's the dog DNA?
Where's the dog DNA? And you know they took dog molds of that dog, Chloe, right?
They're going to bring that up.
Right? They're going to bring that up in court, and they're going to show that these dog bites don't match. They have debunked. They have debunked everything that you're speaking on. I swear to you, I'm not the one fighting with you. You need to be fighting with Hank the Tank, because Hank the Tank is blowing the shit out the water.
See, Zach said, I live in Boston. People here think she's guilty. So do the couple of people that I know in Boston.
I mean, I'm just telling you what is based on what is going on. I'm not trying to argue with you or anything. You seem like a sweet woman to me.
Well, I am a sweet woman, but I really believe in her innocence.
And I understand that.
Have you been hurt by cops before, or like what?
My best friend growing up, I hung out.
Yeah. And listen, I'm not arguing if cops are crooked with you or not, because we know they're crooked. Some cops are crooked, but not all cops are bad. The paramedics ain't bad. The fire department ain't bad. The coroner ain't bad. The judge ain't bad.
She would have had all of them tell the same story.
Had to be everybody
against her.
And here's the bad thing about this, man.
I don't think they're all bad. I have it in my family.
Imagine if you was Jim McCabe and you tried to help your friend, and your friend that you tried to help has then turned around and made you a monster.
Wait, say that again. Sorry, I just saw you're on TV in front of me, and I'm on my.
All these people that were saying Jim McCabe left him out there to die, and she searched hospital on to die in the cold at 2:30 in the morning. They've been proven
her
wrong.
Husband did it.
Right? They've been proven wrong in the court of law. Been proven, and still there's no apology to this woman. There's nothing that y'all paint this lady out to be a monster, and no matter what they bring, you guys change it to fit your narrative.
I truly believe she was telling the truth. She did not text them. It was her husband.
Her husband did it now.
But why would she lie up for it? Why did she lie and did? She said she did it.
She did say she did it.
Tell her the truth after. They had to tell her the truth after. Her husband did this. I'm telling you, how is she in two places at one time? How is she in her bed sleeping and her heart rate not moving? Okay.
Because the watch might be loose. My watch does that all the time. It'll stop connecting.
Before her walks to bed, it's been proven days before, days after the activity.
But it don't matter if the search was made at 6 o'clock in the morning when they were out there and she was laying on top of them. With the whole theory is thrown out the window. Like the dog bites, you seen what they did to the dog bite expert in court, right? You seen how Hank the Tank made her out to be a big ass joke that didn't know what she was talking about. You seen that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I was, I'm going to take your side for a minute. If I was Unetti and Alan Jackson, I would get a better expert than that lady, because they're going to tear her apart. They're going to rip her a new butt. She had no clue to what she was talking about. And they done molded the teeth of this dog, and they're going to get her up in court, and they're going to make her look like the dumbest doctor to ever walk the face of the planet. Hank the Tank is destroying them.
Piece by piece.
Piece by piece. And what about the federal investigation? Let's talk about that, because that's what we want to
Karen
get
still
into.
says it's not over.
There's no, it's closed. It's closed. Nobody's going to jail. There's no federal investigation anymore. None.
I did just hear that today.
Okay, so you got
And
no
Karen
federal
still-
investigation.
Karen
You got
still-
the ain't dog bites.
Karen still walked out of court and tried to tell a reporter that, according to her letter she got a month ago, it's still active.
You got they done blew out the house long to die in the cold. They done blew out the dog bites. They done blew out the federal investigation. What does Karen Reed have left? Now listen, if I was the Karen Reed army, and if I was Karen Reed, I would have said he fell. He fell.
She tried to say that. She said a
He
couple of
fell.
different things. When she woke
I don't
up
know how
his
he
knee-
died. I didn't hit him. He fell.
She said he might have been hit by a plow. She said
But-
she thinks she might have did it. She said like 10 different
Okay,
scenarios.
so
to a
now
piece
we
when
got
she
the
woke her up.
feds done investigate these police officers, and they haven't found any corruption. How do you explain the tail light pieces on John O'Keefe's clothes?
I don't know. I don't know how only Proctor seemed to find them.
Yeah, but now the feds have investigated Proctor. They didn't find him doing any illegal activity.
Can I ask her about the Proctor thing? Because
how-
I think the Proctor thing, what happened with Proctor is that he was looking through her phone and saw confidential information and was told to stop. And what he saw was her admitting to her lawyer that she did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Possibly.
I mean, now that the federal investigation has been cleared up and we know there's no wrongdoing by the police.
This phone and between her phone and the watch.
And let me ask you this, ma'am. You know, when he got hit by the car and he's a police officer, the media was out there the whole time in front of that house, right?
But they were not, because there are images right now. You can go on to another site where there's camera images, and there is no media there.
So the police were able to walk out there and sprinkle glass in the snow and on his body.
In his sweater, inside of his threads in his clothing.
Yeah, they were able to do that. And all the cops,
And
are,
why?
all the cops
Right.
are crooked. The paramedic,
DA, the paramedic,
you know, the
firefighter.
paramedic heard her say, "I hit him," and but the cops are crooked. The paramedics crooked. The coroner's crooked.
The judge is crooked. The DA's crooked.
Everybody's
I think Bev is crooked.
I just have a hard time with I can understand if it was one bad cop. I can understand. I give you 2 bad cops. Okay. Shit. I give you 3 bad cops. But the whole police force, the state police, the judge, the
And
coroner,
she
the paramedics, the
She was
firefighters.
9 vodkas deep when she.
But it
wasn't the police
But she
force.
didn't drink them, did she? She didn't drink them 9
She gave
drinks.
them out to her friends.
She didn't drink those 9 drinks, right?
They all drank those drinks.
But how many drinks do you think she had?
Well, they show on camera 3 drinks.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm done. Come on now. Come
Love
on.
you, lady. Thanks for debating. I love the debate, but at
hey,
some point, it's enough for me.
Okay, listen.
And I just want to say I appreciate you guys for the Sebastian Rogers case. It
Okay.
really touched my heart.
All right. You be good.
Thanks.
Bed. I wasn't rage quit.
All right. Peace. All right. Okay, so we know better than that. We know better than that. We know better than Dolly.
Dolly.
Yes.
Damn. Let's change the subject.
Well, we talking Karen Reed right this second. What would we change the subject for?
Wow. Well, you know what? She probably backed over him.
Uh-huh.
It was manslaughter at most. It wasn't murder.
No. Manslaughter would be if she was sober. That would be manslaughter. That means it was an accident. When you're drunk and get behind the wheel, you're already could break the law. There's no such thing as an accident when you're drunk. That's why it's 2nd-degree murder. You understand?
I get you.
Yeah. If she would have been sober, I would say, yeah, you're right. It's manslaughter. She accidentally did it. She was intoxicated. She may not even knew she did it, but that don't change the fact that she did it.
I know people that have went to prison for manslaughter, vehicular accidents while they were drunk.
Well, it should have been 2nd-degree murder. They may have pleaded it down, and I'm sure she's been offered a plea too, and she wouldn't take it. So now she's charged with 2nd-degree murder, and she was intoxicated. There's no such thing as an accident when you're drunk. You can't accidentally do something when you're intoxicated. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're already in the commission of a crime.
I completely agree with what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. If she'd been sober, manslaughter. Drunk, second-degree murder.
I don't disagree at all. But I have known people that caused accidents, killed people, got manslaughter.
Yeah, it happens. I ain't saying it don't. That's usually in a plea deal. So they don't have to tie up the court system. They don't have to go through court. They plead out the manslaughter. They do 10, 15 years. They get out.
Shit, most of them only do 5.
Well, it depends on your record too. You know, there's guidelines when it comes to stuff like previous crimes, things like that. If you do take a manslaughter, I know a dude did manslaughter charge. He killed a police officer. He shot him, and the police officer was kicking his door to serve a warrant, but didn't identify himself, and he shot the police officer. And I
remember that story. Yeah,
they charged him with capital murder, but then he pleaded out to manslaughter, and he did 10 years. 10 years, 6 months. So
I remember that story, and that's a crazy story. I mean, shit.
Mm-hmm.
I would have shot him too.
Yeah, he didn't know it was the police, and he shot him.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's different. You know, when you can be charged with something, but when you're convicted, that don't mean you're gonna get that, right? You know, I was in a fight in a bar and hit a dude with a guitar. And I caught a felony charge, but time I went to court, they dropped it down to misdemeanor assault.
Hey, let me tell you something. I got into a street fight, and a motherfucker hit me with a 40-ounce bottle across my face. Split my face wide open.
You gotta work on that duck game. Uh-huh.
I got scars on my nose, my lips, everything. My lips were wide open. I mean, both lips, bottom and top. I got rushed to the hospital. Officers asked me what happened. I said, I don't know. They called the cops. And they asked me if I wanted to press charges. I said no.
And they press charges anyway?
No, the state picked up charges on them.
Yeah, they do that. Any felony charge, the state has the option to pick it up. You don't even need you to prosecute.
But I didn't. I said,
they don't need you.
I'm good. I said it was a street fight. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. If you hadn't have been bleeding, because when you bleed, anytime in Virginia, if you draw blood, it's maiming. Anytime you leave a scar or anything like that, they consider it felony maiming with intent to disfigure or kill. And that's what I was charged with because I drew blood. And if you draw blood here, it's maiming. If it leaves a little scar, right, it's maiming. And when it was all said and done, they dropped it down to misdemeanor assault and fined the shit out. Made me do community service. I had to go work at a damn for 1,000 hours. It sucked.
I looked up the dude that hit me. I didn't even know the dude.
Yeah.
I didn't even know him, but I looked it up after everything was said and done. He ended up doing 5 years over it.
Oh, I bet he did. Yeah, I was facing prison time over the fight. I got into in a bar because if you draw blood, then it becomes felony charges. It may have started out simple, but it ended up, felony charges. I was sitting in jail with no bond. And when I went to court, though, it all worked itself out. I had a good lawyer, and I paid the guy some money for damages, and he decided to, hey, we'll drop this down to misdemeanor assault. And I did 1,000 hours of community service, no jail time. And with the jail time I had already served going because I had no bond. So it wasn't no way to get out of jail, right? But time I went to court, I didn't get sentenced to any jail time. I got a year's probation, 1,000 hours community service, and basically I think I paid the guy $4,000 or something like that.
Right.
So, I mean, it's different depending on the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like her being drunk makes it second-degree murder. If she'd have been sober, I agree with you, manslaughter. But look, brother, I will talk to you later.
No. Wait.
Okay.
You know who this is, right?
It's Tell me.
Sin.
I knew that. I was about to say that.
God dang it, Dolly.
I mix you and jet lag up all the time. I don't know why, but I do. I knew it was either one of you.
I wanted to talk about the little boy, man. I'm grieving over that little boy.
Oh, the 2-year-old? Dane?
Yeah.
Dane Paulsen. Okay. What do you want to talk about?
That's sad as shit.
I know. It's horrible. It's horribly sad.
And what they said earlier, they've only searched 3 miles of that river.
So far,
that water is flowing at 30 to 40 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's moving pretty quickly.
He is going to be way further than 2 to 3 miles.
Yeah, but they didn't say at what location they searched 3 miles of the river. They just said they searched 3 miles of the river. They could have searched that 10 miles away from the house, 3 miles of the river.
Shit don't make no sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, they're searching. They're doing the best they can. I mean, they got a lot of people on the job, and, you know, it's a tragedy, man. This is a prime example of why you don't take your eyes off your kid.
Exactly. Hey, I'm like I always say, I'm raising my nephews. They call me dad because I've been raising them for, let's see, 11 years now. So their mom and dad can't stay off the shit, can't stay out of prison.
Yeah.
So, but they call me dad. They call my wife mom or sissy, whatever they choose to call her on that certain day.
Yeah.
But
that's good of you. That's real good of you to do that.
I would fucking go nuts.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that, you know, the mothers, they say she's inconsolable, and the people that know the family up there, they're saying that they're really good people, and they wouldn't do nothing to hurt the kid, and it's a tragic accident.
I believe that. She ain't been putting herself out there like Katie and all them did.
You know, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. It don't matter what you do, you're damned either way. If she came out, people would be like, well, why wasn't you watching your kid? If she don't come out, people be like, why ain't she speaking up for her kid? Same thing with Katie. If she come out, we said she was lying. When she didn't talk, we said she didn't talk. Now when she's talking again, we saying she's lying. I mean, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. Either way, when public opinion finds you guilty, it's hard to get around that, Sin.
It only takes 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Take your eyes off your kid at a park.
Oh yeah, I know. Not even that. Not even that. You know, we just had a kid right here in Chesapeake where I'm at. Just 3 days ago, the mother they were at a park by the lake. She turns her head. The kid comes up missing. An hour later, they find the kid unalived in the lake, drowned. So, I mean, and that was just 3 days ago here. So that little girl was 3 years old, and you got to keep your eyes on your kid. I mean, that's important. All right, Sin, you be good, brother.
All right, brother. You too.
All right.
Hey,
peace.
Y'all stay cool.
All
peace,
right.
PJ. Peace, Dolly.
All right, I want to shut the phone line for 1 second. Okay, you guys can call back in just 1 minute, but I want to go over this stuff with the Karen Reed stuff, because if I'm going to argue with you, I want to show y'all what I'm arguing about. Okay. And it ain't here to be dislike you or fight with you. Sometimes we just agree to disagree on things. Right. And a lot of my viewers think Karen Reed is innocent, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not mad at you guys for thinking Karen Reed's innocent, just like I don't want y'all to be mad at me for thinking she may not be. Okay. We all are entitled to our own opinions, and we got to remember, guys, that's just what it is. You know, none of us were there. The same thing with Dane, and the same thing with Sebastian Rogers. None of us was there, but people seem to think they know everything. You know what I'm saying? And once you get your mind set on something, and this is true, it don't matter if it's Sebastian Rogers or it's Karen Reed. Once you got your mindset and that Kool-Aid flavor has locked in, it's no change in your mind, right? It's just no really change in your mind. Some people, they they lock in on something and that's it. They hyper focus on that and nothing else. Dolly, did you know Dolly Parton's husband died? Yes, for the 7,000th time. Yes, I know her husband died. Rest in peace to him. I didn't never know she was married, to be honest, until he died. And somebody said, Dolly, you know her husband died. And I was like, I didn't know she had a husband. But rest in peace to Dolly Parton's husband, and prayers for Dolly Parton herself. All right. Now let me jump over to this real fast because I want to share this with you guys. And this is about the federal investigation. So a lot of people, you know, in this court trial, the first one, they were saying, well, these police are corrupt. There's a federal investigation on them. They're about to go to jail. But at that point, the federal investigation wasn't closed. Now, you can investigate anything. That don't mean you're guilty. So apparently, the federal investigation didn't find anything, right? So Hank Brenner, the prosecutor, he also was the defense attorney for Whitey Bulger, okay? He basically gets in here and tells the court today, look, I spoke with the federal government. There is no federal investigation. It has been closed. So everything that the Karen Reed supporters have been using has been basically shot out the water. The highest long to die in the cold's been shot out the water. The dog bite expert shot out the water. The federal investigation shot out the water. And listen, when you're retried of a charge, 85% of the time it ends in a conviction. The Menendez brothers hung jury. The next time, hour and a half, the jury came back, convicted them. Okay. And I believe it's going to be the same way in the Karen Reed case. The first prosecutor wasn't that good. This prosecutor is nailing her ass to the wall. I hate to say it like that, but it's just true. So let's watch what he said in court. Let's blow this up.
Well, within 24 hours of those arguments, the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office was contacted by the United States Attorney's Office. And let me make crystal clear, they made clear that I could inform the court there is no longer any federal investigation into the investigation of John O'Keefe's death or any related matters. It is closed. It is over. So all those implications and innuendos that erode at the objectivity of our potential jury pool, well, they become more egregious when you see that they're not based on reality or fact. And so, well,
okay, I want to show that. And not only that, okay, we got to remember that there was, you know, an accident experts that testified in the previous Karen Reed case. Now, it was later found out that Alan Jackson paid them over $20,000, right? But he don't remember paying them, okay? Somebody sent him a bill and he just paid it, okay? So basically, he paid them to come in there and bullshit and lie, right? So I'm surprised they hadn't thrown Alan Jackson, Karen Reed's attorney, slim off this case, right? So it blows my mind of some of the stuff they have done in this whole conspiracy. And you got to remember the reason that how they've treated the O'Keefe family is absolutely horrible. How do you know these texts were deep? It was in court. Okay, Celebrate, the expert, the dude who created it, came out and said that the search was made at this time. You just heard right there that there's no federal investigation. There's no crime being committed. There's nobody going to jail, right? You know that Alan Jackson paid to have that expert say that this is how John O'Keefe died. Not only that, he's sleeping with Karen Reed. Okay, like listen, come on, people, don't be silly. Come on, we all adults here. Let's use our brain and a little bit of common sense. And just like the lady wouldn't admit that Karen Reed drank all those drinks. Of course she drank those drinks. Come on. Remember, she had a brain tumor. She had Crohn's disease. I mean, all kinds of stuff, right? Listen, I don't have no dog in the fight. Really, I don't, my biggest problem is how they booed John O'Keefe's mom. it really upset me, right, to see that. Can you imagine somebody booing your mom? And then you got this nasty ass YouTuber out there saying F his mama. I don't have to be nice to this old bitch and all these things, right? They should be ashamed of themselves. They're trying to convict, but they stand out there and they with signs that say justice for John O'Keefe while they boo his mama. Make that make sense. If that ain't Kool-Aid drinking, I don't know what's Kool-Aid drinking. Now, if they found Karen Reed innocent, it's because they don't have enough evidence against her. And I leave it up to the court. I wouldn't, if they found her not guilty, they're not guilty. But these people never want to accept the fact that there's a possibility that she's guilty and she's going to be found guilty. And look, in a few months, we're going to be looking at this and I'm going to be like, you're going to see it again in the chat room like y'all seen earlier. Dolly's psychic. Dolly knew. Yeah, I absolutely did. I've been saying it since it happened. I was like, okay, she's going to get convicted. And then she got the hung jury. And I was like, well, 85% of the time when they retry you, and they're going to retry her, she's going to be convicted. And they're retrying her. She's going to get convicted. All this stuff that they used in the first one and turned it into a big shit show and a conspiracy fest. They're not even going to hear it in court this time. They're not even going to hear it. Right? And Karen Reed is in trouble. I mean, some serious, serious trouble of going to prison after raising all these millions of dollars, right? Handpicking which, members of her entourage she wants to hang out with. People that were out there fighting for Karen Reed, like Rita, okay? Poor Rita. They did Rita dirty as shit. Rita been out there fighting on the front lines, was out there when I was out there, and they have a little get together. She only invites the people that got money. And, here's the thing. They let Baby Gap up there. Okay. They had Baby Gap at the party and he ain't done nothing but run his face on YouTube about the case and just sit on Turtle Boy's lap. But Rita was out there like a general on the front lines fighting for Karen Reed. And they shit all over Rita. Okay. Just terribly. Like, she's lost a lot of support. And, the first trial, the O'Keefes wasn't asking for help. They wasn't asking for support for people to show up. Now they are. And Dolly's going to be up there. And April Fool's Day is when the trial starts. It sounds crazy, but that's when it starts. I'm going up to Boston to support the John O'Keefe family. They need support. He's the victim here. Karen Reed's not the victim. John O'Keefe is the victim. This man lost his life, and they talk bad about his brother. They talk bad about his mama. They talk bad about his whole family. Everybody's crooked and guilty but Karen Reed. The person that was drunk, didn't like his kids, was cheating on them. Okay? Like, I don't think people are that stupid. Honestly, and I don't think you're stupid. I think y'all just became part of a club. And now you don't want to, y'all have built this bond over this woman being innocent, and really she's not innocent, and you're finding out, and now you're making excuses for her and Turtle Boy's behavior. That's truly what I think. Okay, from an outsider looking in. And firsthand, I've been there. I've been out there. I've seen y'all out there. I've seen you with your attitudes, like the dude, where are you from? America, motherfucker, where you from? Okay, the same, I'm from here. This right here. This is where I'm from. It don't matter where I was born at. What matters is I'm standing on the same sidewalk as you. America. The hatefulness to other people that don't believe the same thing as you. Right now, listen, I don't hate Karen Reed supporters, but I bet you a lot of them hate me. I went into Baby Gap's room. They were called me everything but a white boy because I don't agree with them. We're all adults. So you hate me because I don't agree with you? That shows me right there how ignorant you are, right? Because I don't hate you because we have a difference of opinion. That's like if you're a Democrat or a Republican. I don't hate Democrats. Some things I don't agree with, you know what I'm saying? And I don't have to. That's the good thing about being an adult from a free country is we don't have to agree. Right? I guarantee you, we can probably agree on a million other things, and we probably disagree on the Karen Reed thing. We may disagree on taxes, but there's probably a million things we would agree on. We agree that Ric Flair's the man. Woo! You know what I'm saying? But there'd be things that we don't agree on. Do I hate people for having a difference in opinion than me? How ignorant is that? That is like the definition of ignorant. You know, we should be able to agree to disagree. There ain't no reason to fight or be mean or be hateful or call me names because I don't have the same views as you have. Think about how bad this country would suck if everybody agreed on the same thing. If everybody agreed, we just all, what if this was just an echo chamber? Like, I don't tell people here they have to agree with me. People all the time in my chat believe Karen Reed's innocent. I don't be like, well, you're fucking dumb. You know, think about that. But if I think she's guilty, I'm a piece of shit. You know, like I've been called some hateful names by those people. And I don't call you guys names. I truly don't. I don't know you. Okay. Just like y'all don't know me. Just because you watch me on YouTube don't mean you personally know me. You know, our views don't align on this. But have you ever tried to talk to me about something else? You might go, damn, well, Dolly agrees with me on all this other stuff, but just don't agree with me on the Karen Reed thing. But people don't want that. They want to push their narrative. And if you don't believe what they're saying, F you. That's what a cult is. Okay. That's how cults are formed. And I know they hate being called a cult, but then if you hate it, then don't act like it. Okay. Act like reasonable adults. And you don't have to like my opinion. You don't even have to listen to my opinion, but you don't got to hate me for it. That's all I wanted to say on the whole Karen Reed stuff. Now I'm going to open the phone lines back up. If y'all want to discuss it for a minute before I move on, you're more than welcome to call in. The call-in number is on the screen, 757-797-6694. Now, I'm not trying to fight with you. I will debate with you, but we're not going to get into fighting and over-talking each other and a big conflict, you know, over this. Now, if you want to discuss it, I'm more than willing to discuss the case with you, okay? But we got to take turns. You know, it ain't going to be one person over-talking the other person. If I'm going to listen to you, you need to listen to me. It's just the way it is. Karen Reed is yuck. I mean, I love everyone. LOL. Kitty cat, good for you. All right, let's do it. Dolly.
Hello, this is Rachel from Indiana.
Hey, Rachel.
Okay, so the Karen Reed, I agree with you. I think that she either did it or she didn't.
Uh-huh.
The way his mother and his family's been treated is just disgusting.
I agree with that. I'm on the same page as you. I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know if she did it or she didn't do it. I mean, it looks like to me that the evidence points towards her, but the way they did the family is horrible. Like, I wish they would go to jail for what they did. The people that did booing the mama and treating the family. I wish that was a crime. But apparently, you know, it's America. You have the right to be shitty. It ain't against the law, right? But it is a horrible thing to be, you know, and you wouldn't want somebody to treat your family like that, but they're out there treating this family like that.
I agree. They didn't do nothing but lose their family members.
I know. Victim of circumstances. I mean, yeah, they got caught up in a conspiracy. And it's like, that ain't really a conspiracy. It's just made up to try to free this woman.
Can I ask about a case that you ain't discussing right now? Have you guys seen any of the new stuff on the Delphi?
Now I believe Richard Allen's innocent. I've been believing he's innocent. I believe they railroaded an innocent man because he has mental health issues. I more believe towards Keegan Kline, Ron Logan, kind of sway that way. They basically convicted Richard Allen with no evidence.
I totally 100% agree. Have you seen any of the new stuff that's been going on with it?
I mean, I've seen stuff that they're saying that Ron Logan is responsible. I've seen stuff that say Keegan Kline and Ron Logan are connected. I don't know. Did I miss anything?
Apparently, there is some letters that were sent to the prosecutors from an inmate that was in there with Ron Logan and Keegan.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. That Ron Logan
And they-
confessed to him that he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keegan. I mean, Richard Allen didn't even know how the girls died until he was told. He said he shot them. They wasn't shot.
Yeah.
They were their throats were sliced.
Yeah, I think he was set up too.
Yeah, I do too. And it's going to be one of those cases where he's going to end up suing. And you know, look, they didn't treat him like a regular prisoner. They took him straight to prison. They put him in isolation, and he's basically mental. And they treated him like he wasn't mental. And then they said he was mental. He wasn't mental. They used it for however they wanted to use it. It can't be both. Either you're crazy or you're not crazy.
I'm from Indiana, born and raised here, and I'll tell you, it's a good old boy system.
I believe
And
it. I believe it. I knew when they fenced off the, you know, and blocked off the courthouse and wouldn't allow certain media in there, wouldn't let people write stuff down, wouldn't let people take pictures. I knew then they were railroading him into prison. They didn't want the general public to know what was happening.
I fully agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I knew they were going to find him guilty because they were going to railroad him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they had bigger evidence on Keegan than they did on Richard Allen. I mean, Keegan is the one that led the girls there. He's Anthony Schatz. He was the one communicating with Abby and Libby. He's the one that they went out to the tracks to meet, you know, and they forget about the other girl. You know about the third girl, right? After Abby and Libby went missing, that a girl got off the school bus and she went to walk up to her house, and there was a dude looking through the window, and she had been communicating with Anthony Schatz.
Yeah, and it was all Keegan Klein. Now, my one thing is they said something about they had some DNA from a male, but it wasn't anybody they tested. That's where I think Keegan Klein's daddy comes in.
Listen, I agree with you. I agree with you that you know, remember at some point Keegan Klein and his daddy went to Vegas, and they were out in Vegas sleeping with prostitutes and doing a bunch of weirdo shit in Vegas. I agree that I think the daddy was in with Keegan on some of his nasty behavior. The child pee, that stuff, you know, he caught with 600 images, and he got 35 years for that.
Yeah.
So,
but
yeah.
I just wasn't sure if you and PJ knew that they were doing that.
I keep up with my true crime now. That's what I do.
But that's kind of a backstory because they done convicted him, so I wasn't sure if you were.
Yeah. You know, believe it or not, I've been a YouTube channel for 3 years. I started following Abby and Libby before I even had a true crime channel.
Yeah.
You know, so I've been with this for the last 6 years. So, you know, not every day covering it or even covering it, but watching it and, you know, having my theories on it. I have for the last 6 years.
Yeah. I've thought he was innocent from the time they said he was the bridge guy. Just because he was there doesn't mean he killed them.
Yeah, he told him he was there.
Yeah.
But he wasn't there at the time they were killed, though. He had left before that. And none of the witnesses describe Richard Allen at all. None of them.
Exactly. And
or his car.
That one who was it that they found them on his property?
Ron Logan, the property owner where they were at.
His girlfriend even came
and said he was the bridge guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Said that was his voice.
He hit her in the head with a wrench. Tried to kill her.
Yeah.
And she knew the voice and said that was Ron Logan. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right there. I mean, we'll see how it plays out. I mean, I don't know. I know they're trying to get him a new trial.
Yeah. The last thing I read about it was that the judge said she couldn't make them keep any of the evidence secure.
Yeah, judge should have stepped down from the case, and she refused. She refused. I knew something was up right then when the judge was just like, "Oh no, I'm not stepping down." They knew what they were doing. That was a straight setup. And
that was good old boys and good old Indiana.
This is 2025, and that was a straight setup. I don't know, like they need to make a movie about that setup. That was that bad. Like it was noticeably they set them up.
Yeah, it was.
So hey, look, I appreciate you calling.
Thank you.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Yeah, a little off topic, but the Richard Allen thing. Some of you guys may not agree with that. Okay, that he's guilty. He confessed, but you can get a crazy person to confess to anything. Okay, if you're crazy enough and somebody tells you you've done it enough times, you'll start to think you've done it. And that's basically the case with Richard Allen. Now, Karen Reed, we're going to see, and like I said, I'll be up there to support the O'Keefe family. I have no bad blood against, the Karen Reed supporters. We'll see how it plays out. Maybe y'all right, maybe I'm wrong, but Dolly ain't wrong much. Okay, I ain't wrong much, and we're going to find out. We're going to find out, right? And then make sure y'all come back and be like, I just want to see it. Dolly, you're a psychic. I'm better than Donna, Reverend Serafina. Okay, up here on YouTube, I'm way better psychic. Okay, because my batting average, I hate to say it, it's really, really good. And I don't know if it's luck or I just know my true crime. But you're going to be like, Dolly, yeah, you're right. It's going to take a little bit of time to get to there. And some of these people that I've fought with this year over this, and argued with and debated with on the phone, I want to hear from you guys at the end of April. Okay, I definitely do. Don't leave me hanging. Don't do all that. And then when it's my time to be like, I told you so, you don't give me that opportunity because I'm going to be mad at you. Right? I'm going to be mad because I'm looking forward to being like, hey, Dolly told you so, right? I'm not wrong about stuff. I know that sounds conceited, and I can be wrong. Okay, I ain't saying I can't be wrong. I'm just saying if you was a betting person, you bet your ass you better bet on Dolly. Just how some dudes know sports? That's how I know true crime. I'm passionate. It's hard to, that's why I know all this stuff is because I'm passionate about it. It's like I watch this stuff constantly. Like even when I'm not on YouTube, I'm watching true crime documentaries, all this stuff. So I think I'm a pretty good, and you got to remember, I've been in the field at these court cases, at going to missing crime scenes and doing all this stuff. So not only do I know it, but I'm living it. So it's like, I'm hard to bet against. That's all I'm saying. But if you want to try, you're more than welcome to. Now, let's get to the Sebastian Rogers situation. I ain't going to keep this long because it's starting to get a little late, and I may be back later tonight. But, like I said, there's so much misinformation going on out here in the Sebastian Rogers case, right? I don't want to talk bad about YouTubers, but what some of these people are doing by spreading misinformation, it's the same thing that was happening in the Summer Wells case. Okay. To me, what upsets me so much about people spreading misinformation is it muddies the water for people that are really searching and really looking for Sebastian Rogers. When I go out there, I'm really looking for Sebastian. I'm trying to find this kid. I'm sleuthing for clues. And if you're out there putting out misinformation and I got to go watch your video and it takes away time. Hold on. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
This is Kevin in Indiana.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah, I believe that it was karma.
You got to turn me down, Kevin, in the background.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Maybe you're right, maybe I'm wrong, but
all right.
Okay, there you go. That's better.
Yeah, I think it's all karma.
It's all karma?
Yeah, coming back on him.
On who?
On Karen Reed.
Oh, Yeah, well, I mean, things ain't going as good for her this time around than it was the first time around.
No, and getting what she deserves. I believe that she did it on purpose.
I don't know if she did it on purpose. I'm not one to say she did it on purpose. There's no way to know. She could have just been drunk and accidentally did it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people
still.
think she did it on purpose. I've never really been like that. I just think she did it. I don't know if she did it on purpose or she was just drunk and did it. I don't know which one.
If she was drunk, she still, might as well say she did it on purpose because if she's going to get it worse because she ain't supposed to be behind the wheel drunk.
Yeah, she shouldn't have been behind the wheel drunk. And as you know, we know lots of tragedies happen when you drink and drive.
Yeah.
Right? We know that.
Yeah.
Everybody should. If you don't know that, you should be aware of that. That's the reason you don't drink and drive, is you could kill somebody or yourself. Right? We've learned that at a young age that you don't drink and drive because you could hurt yourself or somebody else. But
I didn't agree with all them doing that and throwing things at the parents.
I didn't see him throw anything. I just seen him booing them, and that was enough for me to be like, "That is terrible." A good person, a good person, don't do that. A good person's not gonna get out there and boo somebody's mama that didn't do nothing, have nothing to do with it, and boo the mama and the brother and say nasty, horrible things about them when they ain't never done nothing to nobody.
Exactly.
Well, not none of them anyway. I ain't saying they ain't never did nothing wrong in their life. I'm just saying they never did nothing wrong to those people.
Exactly.
So it's a hard one to swallow in the whole Karen Reed situation. Does that make her guilty? No, it don't make her guilty, but it makes her surrounded by some terrible people that would do mean things unnecessarily too. Like they could have just let them people walk in the courtroom. They didn't have to boo them. What did that do? But it make them look bad to me.
Exactly.
It don't change what's going to happen in the court. Court's tried inside the building. It ain't tried on the stairs.
Exactly.
So all you're doing is making yourself look like a bad person leaving a bingo hall. I mean,
bingo.
That's what the crowd looks like. Like they just left a bingo game and showed up for Karen Reed. I'm just like, okay. It's just like, I don't know why people. It's mob mentality. When people get that many people together, mob mentality takes over. I don't know why people get so crazy when they're in a big group of people.
Yeah.
But it happens. I've seen it firsthand multiple times. I seen it at Karen Reed trial. I seen it January 6th, where a mob of people get together and people just start acting crazy.
Even if they it shows that they're guilty.
Or
they still go wrong.
Or it just takes one little spark to create a wildfire. That's it. One little spark creates a wildfire. I mean, it don't take much to set people off in this world. And
exactly, darling.
They just need a reason to be crazy. And if you give them one, they love it. They love it. Everybody wants to get the blood pumping a little bit, is what I think.
They got the crazies out there. It's good talking to you, darling.
All right.
I just wanted to give my opinion.
All right.
And I mean, I think she feels, but we'll find out.
We will. That's what I tell everybody. Let's just wait to the end. Ain't no need to fight about it. It's coming up, and we're going to find out. And then in the end, we'll discuss it, because basically that's what this is a discussion channel.
Yep.
So you be good. Talk to you later.
Yeah, you too. All right.
Peace.
Later.
Yeah, listen, I don't got nothing against Karen Reed supporters. I see people saying you're wrong out there, Dolly, about Karen Reed. I might be. But guess what, guys? I might be right. And only time will tell. Okay? Now, here's my thing. If Karen Reed was found innocent, I can live with it. Okay? I'll be like, oh, Karen Reed's innocent. But if she's found guilty, these people can't live with it. She will always be innocent, because their mind is made up. They won't go with the court system. Even if they find her guilty, give her 40 years, okay? They will never accept the fact that she's guilty. Now, if it came back with a verdict that she's innocent, I would say, well, she's innocent. They didn't have enough evidence to convict her. I could live with it. I could sleep at night, okay? But guys that support Karen Reed in here, you guys can't. what does that tell you, right? What does that tell you? What does that tell you? All right. I mean, I'm just saying, and you know it's true. Dolly, don't come up here and bullshit and lie to you. Right? We know that what I just said is 100% for a fact true.
I love that you guys agree to disagree. Everyone please be nice, especially to Dolly and PJ. Love you guys. Appreciate all you do.
Thank you,
You are both great. 2 hearts, 2 hearts.
Thank you, JLL. And listen, I don't think the people out there are supporting Karen Reed are bad people. I don't. I think they're passionate people, and they really believe in their mind that she's innocent. They believe it. I can tell you they believe it, right? I know they believe it. I've talked to them. I've met some of them, and I know they really are passionate about it, and they believe she's innocent. But where we separate is, I don't think that, right? But I don't think you're bad people, because if there is corrupt cops, you do need to fight against corruption. I'm all for fight bad cops. I just don't feel like all the cops, paramedics, judges, everybody was bad. Matter of fact, Mass is so lenient on everything. They got weed shops on every corner. Everybody's mellow as hell up there, right? I mean, they chill as shit. The cops are nice. Every cop I met was nice as hell to me. Across the street, how you doing today, sir? You having a good day? Yeah, nice to meet you today. Super nice to me. And then you just thinking, and you got these people screaming that all the cops are corrupt when the cops seem nice as hell. Like, this don't even make good sense, right? But I'm sure there are some corrupt cops, and there's been some corruption in some of the cases up there. There is. And so once you don't trust the police, it's easy to believe Karen Reed is innocent. As soon as you don't trust them. And I get it. I understand it. Most of these people are fighting against corruption, and it's a good fight. But if you're wrong about the corruption, then you're fighting for a lady that murdered an innocent man that was a good guy, right? John O'Keefe was a good dude. Like, and these people act like he was a dirtbag. This man was a good police officer taking care of adopted kids, right? Like, he was damn near a saint. Okay, damn. The only thing he messed up was dating Karen Reed. That's the only mistake he made. That's the only thing I hold against the guy. You like crazy ass women. You know what? Dolly too. Okay, Dolly too. That's a downfall to a lot of men. We like crazy ass women. You may get stabbed. You never know. You never. It's unpredictable. It's super unpredictable, right? So I get it. So, all right, we're going to move past that. So if you call in now, make sure it's on the Sebastian Rogers case. Let me give my warnings, because these people like to put people in jail and sue people. Dolly Vision's for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, theories, mixed with some comedy and a whole lot of chaos. So don't take nothing as fact. It's just my opinion, people. Do your own research. Everyone is innocent to proven guilty in a court of law. Even Karen Reed. Okay, even Karen Reed. Yes, I said it. And the family of Sebastian Rogers. They're all innocent to proven guilty. And the biggest one of them all, and you guys should know this, don't try to be Dolly at home. Your head could explode. You could die. All right, it's dangerous. You don't need it. You don't need it. So, like I was saying, I look at the parents like the parents had something to do with it. Okay? It's you would think a family would act different. Okay? So all these channels out here that are spreading misinformation, the bad thing about it is I agree with them that the parents have something to do with it. What I don't agree with is making up stuff, okay, in true crime, because there's no room for that. Because like I said, it muddies the water, like in the Summer Wells case. And then eventually when people come into this and they're new to true crime, like I was in Summer Wells. I came into Summer Wells and I thought everybody was legit and people were telling the truth. And I truly believed it. I didn't know, right? And a lot of people coming into true crime don't. But for people that's been around true crime in a minute, you know when people are bullshit. You know when they're making up stories and we're like, well, my source said, well, what are you, like, you got sources in the FBI, secrets? Well, who you got sources with? Like last week, I never even heard of you. But this week you got sources in the federal government. You just can't believe that shit, right? Like, I've been doing this for years. Do y'all ever hear me say anything like that? Dolly ain't got no sources. I'm an idiot. Okay. The locals tell me things, but when people run things as facts, okay, and I get it. You want Chris and Kate.
Dolly, the 90s case of John Benet Ramsey still gets me upset to this day. Why can't that case be solved already? That poor girl deserved justice.
Brad, I'll answer that question. Okay. It's squirrel as hell, off topic, but I will answer it for you. The crime scene, right? They were letting people in and out the crime scene like it was a fucking nightclub, right? They had their friends over there cooking dinner and walking around the house like nothing ever fucking happened, right? And you got all these weirdos, these pedophiles. They're saying people confessing to doing it, and it becomes people muddy in the water. Okay, the water gets muddy, so you can't really clear. Some people think John Benet Ramsey's mama did it. Some people believe John Benet's daddy did it. Some people, like me, I believe that they were being stalked. Some people believe the son done it. Okay, now the police, it was so bad against the son that the police actually came out and cleared the son. The son has nothing to do with it. Don't, because of that tourniquet they used to tie the knot around John Benet. But then you got to remember the ransom note being wrote. It was so muddy and so confusing that there was nothing solid. And you got to have something that's a little solid to make a conviction. It's hard to say 100% who killed John Benet Ramsey. The sad thing is she was killed. And if people hadn't muddied the water so bad and contaminated the crime scene itself, I think that case would have been solvable. And I do respect the fact that her father is still out there fighting for justice for her. And he says it the best. If we had anything to do with this, we would have let this go. We wouldn't still be out here trying to pursue answers for John Benet. So it's what I fight against the most is muddy in the water, right? Because it ain't like I want to come out here and just shit talk every YouTuber, right? But I want them YouTubers to be truthful. It goes into the Spider-Man movie. I look at like this, like there's almost 1,000 of you here with me. You guys gave me this voice, right? That people listen to. With great powers come great responsibility. It does, okay? And the whole just making up a story that fits your narrative, and people are going to eat it up, right? That Chris and Katie are guilty. I think they got something to do with it, and everybody in here does too. So if you come up and just make something up and you tie them into it, then you're going to get a lot of views. You're going to get a lot of clicks. Now, listen, I could easily do that, right? I tell great ass stories. I can make some shit up quick as hell, but I don't, because I know what it does. I know what effect it has, because it did it in the Summer Wells case when I came in looking for Summer. I was like you guys. I was just a viewer, right? I fell into the rabbit hole. I ended up on 110 Ben Hill Road. Make that shit make sense. Okay, I'm out there looking in the woods. I'm sitting chilling one minute, smoking blunts. Next minute, I'm in a damn holler of Tennessee, walking through the mountains. That's how bad it got me. And then you had all these people that were being paid to spread misinformation and just everything, which I didn't know what was real and what was fake, because there were so many stories out there that some people were being truthful and so many people lying and making things up, that where do you go? And this is what it's going to do in the Sebastian Rogers case. And that's why I give these YouTubers such a hard time about it. It ain't just I'm a hating ass person. It's that I don't think they understand is you may get a lot of views, but you're hindering the chances of them finding this kid. And you're making it harder on people that it's already hard on, right? Chris and Katie, but everybody handed them a bag full of just shit. Okay, everybody's giving it to them, everybody, and for what they've done, for what they have done. Now think about you already getting your ass handed to you. Now you're getting your ass handed to you for shit you didn't even do, or there's no proof that you did. And people out here speaking as in things are fact when they're not, right? And listen, so many YouTubers think the police are stupid. You know what I learned? The police are pretty damn smart. Think about this, guys, and I know they hate when I say, how many YouTubers have solved a crime? But think about how many detectives have. You know, when you go to a prison, it's full of fucking people, right? And you know who put them there? Not YouTubers. Detectives, good police officers, put them people there. So when these people say, well, they got all this evidence, if they had that evidence that these channels are talking about right now, they would be in jail already. That's how you know they're lying to you, or how they're just telling you a story. Okay. Well, then, you know, it was just a theory, but you're not presenting this as a theory. You're presenting it as fact. All right. There's these cameras. There's this car. If that was Chris was there. If that was the case, their ass would be in jail. It blows my mind that people buy into it. And they're like, yeah, I knew the whole time. And the people that are saying it are no different than people that have planted evidence at crime scenes. You know, your typical bullhorns, right? People that are just, it blows my mind. Or people that want to be Bullhorn Betty. That's even worse. I don't know why anybody out here we want to be like Bullhorn Betty or sound like Betty or any of these things. But for people to like blow me up and be like, oh, did you hear this? It's not coming from a credible source. It's not. So don't, oh, there went my phone. Don't waste my time with it, right? Don't waste my time with it, right? Because there's so many people. And listen, guys, I understand y'all want me to know the scoop, right? Y'all don't want me to miss anything, but use rational thinking before you hit me up. Okay, just a little bit, just a little, you know, a little something like it. Let your squirrels kick that shit around in your brain for about 10 minutes before you send that email. Before you hit send, just kick that shit around. Let your squirrels play with the nut for a minute, and then send your message. Because if you think about it, the police ain't as dumb as people make them out to be. And if there was that much evidence against these people, they'd be in jail. All right. And the reason they ain't in jail is because what these people are telling you ain't right. It ain't right. Okay. And use common sense. And I used to think, you know, I always joke that I'm an idiot, right? You know, I'm an idiot, but listen, even an idiot don't believe that shit. Okay. And you know what I'm saying is truthful, right? Go to a prison, right? Ask any inmate in there, hey, are you in here because of a YouTuber? And find me one that says yeah. They'd be like, no, I got arrested by the police, detective so-and-so testified against me in court. Find me somebody. It's random though. You can't look. You just got to go to a random prison and find me one person that is in there because a YouTuber got them locked up. Because a YouTuber has solved the crime. Now you could go the buffoons. Okay, they seen the Gabby, but they didn't get Brian locked up. He got himself locked up. But they did help find Gabby's body because they knew the van was there and searchers. That was still good police work. Okay, it was a combination of YouTubers and good police work because the YouTubers seen them. So the police said, well, if they seen them there, let's search there. And they did. And within a couple hours, they found Gabby Petito's body. You had the Hatfields and McCoys. That was a criminal, right? And they went out searching and they found a body. They didn't really solve a crime, but they did find a body. That's a little bit different. But you go to a prison, like I said, and show me one person that's locked up in there because a YouTuber done solved some Sherlock Holmes crime. Just prove me wrong. I think it's good that these YouTubers spread awareness, and we're good for that because, you know, we have thousands of viewers and we can reach audiences all over the world. It's great to spread that awareness, but don't make things up. Just, you know, and sometimes I seem like the asshole because I attack these people, right? Because I take this serious, right? The information that you're putting out in the case, I take it serious. Now I do joke and play and troll, and I do all those things too. But when it comes to the case itself, I take that shit super seriously. And it ain't nothing personal. It's just like people copy other people, right? And like some of the people that are putting this out, they're clones of other people that have done this before them, and they've learned this shit from them. And listen, a click and a view is never worth effing up one of these cases. Okay? And putting things on people that are not true is just completely wrong. Now, in like I said, I agree with these people about their suspects. I do. I believe they're suspects, just like each and every one of these people out here making shit up. But what I'm not going to do is get up here and lie on people when I don't have to. Okay, there's enough things that make them look horrible. Joe Dirt and their kid, not crying out from the rooftops. There's so much. But what it is there's no information. There's nothing. Let's be honest, guys. It's a cold case. It's nothing. But if they make things up, them clicks and them views continue to come in because they feel like if they didn't, they don't got nothing to talk about. And if I don't have nothing to talk about, I'll just recap the case. I'll go over the things that we've already talked about. I'm not going to get up here and say, well, yeah, Chris was here or there, and I know this person told me this and that. It's not a good thing. And I hope that changes, the misinformation, because misinformation, all it does is hurt cases. We look at the misinformation that came out about the blob and them enhancing photos of Chris into those photos, right? That blob that was enhanced. Okay. Remember, everybody said Dolly's a piece of shit. He called these people out. He's lying. You see, Nancy pulled the interview, just like I told y'all. It never aired. People are arguing with me going, Dolly, it's going to air. They're editing it. I was like, they took down the audio. Why would they edit audio? There ain't even no video to edit. And then they never shared the video. Nancy pulled all her stuff on it, right? Because you know why? Because it was misinformation. Misinformation hurts these cases. It hurts them, right? And if I got to be the bad guy for saying it, then fuck it. I'll be the bad guy, right? What, only 50 people deleted me. It ain't the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? For keeping it real, right? Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they're convinced that these people are guilty. Guess what? I'm on the same page as y'all, but we don't have no proof, and we can't make up the proof. Okay? We got to find real proof and put out real information. And like when somebody puts something out, look and see how many times they've been right before. Okay? Like you see people come in here and say, Dolly, you psychic, right? Because I have a background in it. You can go back and look at the things that I was right about. These people, you can't, there's no vetting it. There's no way to, there's nothing to judge it off of, right? And people don't ask for proof. Nobody. Like when I watched the video and I'm like, man, I know y'all wasting my fucking time, this big old nothing burger. Nobody in the comments are asking for proof. And then somebody's saying, well, I knew this, I knew that. And they're starting to question it. And then they go, well, the cops must be corrupt. I mean, that's the same thing Bullhorn Betty was saying. That's the same thing. This is like a clone of Betty. Okay. And trust me, we don't need to be fucking cloning Betty. If you're going to clone somebody, clone Plunder, go clone Grizzly. You know, some of these people that I look up to that do good true crime and are genuinely trying to bring you legit information. They're not making up shit in the case. Don't clone the fucking dirtbags. Don't do that. right? Because that's basically what it is. They sound alike. They say this basically the same crazy shit, making up shit. I mean, it's the same thing. People be like, Dolly, that ain't Betty. Well, damn sure it's a clone of Betty. Okay, did they clone that woman? Okay, what the hell is going on YouTube? Okay, I was like, oh my God, right? Like, look, clone somebody good. Okay, clone somebody good. If you're gonna do some clone, I blame this shit on South Korea. Okay, I'm blaming this on South Korea. I think most of these YouTubers are coming from South Korea. They done have been cloned into some fucking weirdo shit. I just don't know. If you ask for proof, you get blocked and accused of being a hater. Is that, see, Bobby? That's what I mean. Like, and it's like, that's how cults are formed. Okay. That's the same thing in the Karen Reed. Listen, you got the Karen Reed stuff. You got the Green Team cult. Okay. And then like, they praying to Satan and shit, right? It's like, I don't know. How do you win in this, right? How do you, like, what the hell? What the hell? I'm just over here shaking my head like, what do I do at this point? You know what I'm saying? You can't be honest, right? And if I got to get up here and lie, I just won't talk about the kid. If I can't be truthful with my viewers, then I ain't going to say nothing at all. That I just, especially about the case, I may troll and rib a little bit and play, but when it comes to these cases, I just can't get up here and follow the herd, right? Because it's become that. And that's the same thing that it happens in so many cases. And what's the win? I don't, finding the kid. It's the prize. Okay. That's what you win. You win Sebastian being home. That's what you win. It's like, you go to the fair, you can get a stuffed animal. You win this, Sebastian comes home. He's found. There's answers. It's like cheating at the game. Okay. It's like cheating. Basically, it's like, I understand people want to grow their channels and shit, and making up things ain't the way to do it. Just treating things as fact that ain't this car, this don't you think the police would have done? It's silly. Like, I'm not going to go on and on about it, but I will open the phone lines for a few minutes before I get out of here. This is my best advice for everybody on YouTube. Don't believe nothing you hear. Let's see. Okay. Dolly.
Is this Dolly?
This be Dolly.
Are we on the air?
We are on the air.
Well, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Is there a chance now? I don't believe in psychics or any of that other kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Is there a chance we could get a hold of a guy by the name of David John Oates who does reverse speech for some of these interviews that have been done
Uh-huh.
by some of the parents
Uh-huh.
in the police?
What is the reverse speech? Is like playing a record backwards?
No. Back in the 90s and the 2000s, early 2000s, there was a man by the name of Art Bell.
I know, Art Bell. We've talked before. Tell the viewers who you are and where you call
my name. Well, my mysterious name is not real, but it's Bart Dell.
Bartdale. I remember that.
Bart Dell. Okay, so I've had plenty of interviews with David John Oates.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking that maybe there would be a possibility of getting hold of David and, taking some of the interviews that had been done by the police department and try to see what the reversal is on the parents.
Yeah, it's an active investigation. They haven't released any of that stuff.
Okay, what about?
I mean, we have public interviews, but we don't have none of the police interviews. Not yet, anyway.
Okay, so what we need to do is get a hold of the interviews that could be made public.
Uh-huh.
And see what the parents have to say. I think John Benet Ramsey, that's quite a while ago. Some of those recordings may have been released. I don't know. Sebastian is actually here in Tennessee somewhere.
Yeah, Henderson.
And that's the area that I'm in. And there's a lot of people that I personally know that have tried to find out where he's at.
Uh-huh.
Do you
Yeah.
think Sebastian is still alive, Dolly?
No, sir. I don't.
What do you think? What do you think? Just asking personally, what do you think happened?
I don't know. I mean, there's only a couple things that could be. He could have ran away and got hurt. You know, he's not an outdoorsman. He was barefoot with no jacket on in freezing weather, or his parents have done something to him. I mean, it's one of those two things. I don't think he was kidnapped. I don't think he was coached out the house. I think he either ran away or his mother has done something with him.
Right. It would be interesting to get a hold of that interview someday, and maybe David John Oates up there in Australia could take and reverse that and maybe possibly see something that was going on backwards.
Well, I mean, we could reach out to him. You know, I could shoot him an email and see if we could get him on the show.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. Very interesting indeed.
You know, so I've been thinking about reaching out to some people on some of this stuff, and
well, he's not a psychic. He actually does this for a living, and he has been doing it for a long time. David John Oates has been in the business for, golly, I want to say 50 years. He actually, one of the ones that I like the best is the one that was on the Man on the Moon when they had the 1969 July. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Everybody remembers that.
Yeah.
Well, backwards, he reversed that, and backwards it says one small, the one small step for man. He says, well, I'm going to reverse this, and I'm going to see if there's anything in there. So backwards it says it says man will spacewalk.
Man will spacewalk.
Backwards, yeah. One small step for mankind, one giant leap for man, or whatever that is there.
You know, it's crazy you say that, because tonight I was at PJ's house, and her dad, he works for CBN, and we were trying
CBN, the Christian Broadcasting Network.
Yeah. He works for CBN, so I was showing him my my backdrops for the show, my new studio setup and stuff, and he does all kinds of stuff for CBN. Buddies with Pat Robertson. That's how he got into the country, because he's from Croatia. And I was talking to him about the prayer that Seth gave, and we were trying to get him to watch it. He didn't get a chance to watch it, but we wanted him to hear this prayer that was said by the father of the missing kid about he was calling on the angel of death, Samael, and like it was a good thing. And in most religions, Samael is considered a demon.
Right.
And so we were trying to get him to give us the take on that. But while I was standing there talking to him, we went squirrel and we started talking about the moon landing. So we went from religion to, do you believe in the moon landing? And I said, look, man, we've been to the moon. He said, do you think the earth is flat? I was like, no, I don't.
Oh, boy.
He's like, he's like, are you a flat earther? Because he just thinks I'm a conspiracy person. And I was like, no, I'm not a flat earther. Right? I said,
well, it's only a conspiracy until it's proven.
Right? That's what I was kind of saying.
I mean, look at the 9/11. 9/11. Do you think those things came down? And we've talked about this before a little bit. Do you think they came down just because of two airplanes hitting them and it got too hot inside? And
no, that's thermite.
That's right. Thermite.
I've
had plenty of interviews with people on that one.
Yeah.
But anyway, my friend, I just wanted to bring that up. Maybe we can look him up and try to get a hold of David John Oates.
Okay, David John Oates.
How would I get a hold of you? Do you have an email address?
Yeah. I'll give it to you real quick. Jimmy, Jimmy, Jam.
Okay, let me write that down here.
All right, write it down.
Jimmy.
Jams, JAM, like as Mike. Z is like Zorro. Jams. 757 at gmail.com.
757@gmail.com. You're probably gonna have a lot of weirdos calling you.
Well, that's my email. They'll be emailing me.
Right.
It ain't that bad. It's not too many people hit me.
JIMMYJAMZ 757@gmail.com.
Yep, that's how you get a hold of me.
Okay, now is your name actually Dolly?
No, my name is Jimmy.
Jimmy. Okay.
Yeah, I named the channel Dolly because Dolly Parton was my mom's favorite country singer.
Oh my! I've got a picture of Dolly Parton in here. One of her used to have a bunch of albums she put out, and a lot of times they would have, covers and things like that. Yeah, she hangs up right above the studio in here.
Awesome.
Okay, my friend. I'm going to listen to some other people that may have some comments in here because I think it's going to be very interesting to possibly get a hold of David John Oates and have him do some reversals on some of the
interviews. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Okay, Jimmy.
All right. Peace.
All right. Good night, my man. Bye-bye.
Okay. So, yeah. I don't know. We bring in everybody. I want to bring in some psychics, some damn pet whisperers. I mean, I don't care, We should ask the dogs that were there. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly. This is Sniffles.
Hey, Sniffles.
Hey, buddy. How did your test go today, first of all?
It was like more of a...
I'm sorry.
It was an orientation. All they really did was take my blood pressure and my oxygen level, and both of them were good.
Oh, good. Okay. Sorry. I've been away for a bit. But I'd like to give a little feedback, if I could, about the so-called, the prayer vigil. You know what? You had me for a minute.
Oh, wait.
and oh, that was so funny.
I mean, everybody,
dude, but
so many people got mad and said I was a liar. I actually literally said I was going to wear a mask, a skin mask in there, and they wouldn't recognize me. And people, this was like, Dolly, you're a liar. I was like, okay, if you believe that, like, I did so many things to tell people, even in my comments on the post, I told a lady, she's like, I'm unsubscribing. I was like, lady, this just shows how smart you are. If you use rational thinking, I'm not doing none of this shit, right? Like I'm wearing
I know.
Like I'm gonna dress up in a whole full skin outfit and I'm gonna go into a church. Like it but I get it. I guess some people believe everything.
I believed you for 2 seconds, but I was there.
Oh, were you at the church?
Yes.
Was you pinching people's faces to see who was wearing a skin mask?
Well, I came very early and I sat in the parking lot, and then I went in and got my seat, and I saw some things that were just not conducive to a prayer vigil. But I did fall for it for like maybe 10 minutes.
I mean, the Bullhorn got on her channel and said somebody snuck into the church with a mask on.
Listen, and I saw some crap, and that's why I left. I had my seat in the church, and you know what? I just want to say this.
I wore this mask right here. Did you see me? Look at the screen. Did you see this person?
Wait, hold on.
This is the mask I wore.
Stop. No. No, listen.
You recognize me?
No, I never. But I would have called you out as sus. But listen. I agree with you. Like this was. I don't want to blame the church itself. Yeah. I think the church did. Like I saw some behind the scenes things that were like, and as you know who I am. I am not a YouTuber. I'm not whatever, but there were some things going on outside, and there were not like freaking, I think the whatever, can I say it or not?
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
As long as it ain't bad word.
Okay, the Bullhorn Betty person, and some other people, like they fed off you, and that's how I learned that you were kidding. I mean, it's like I feel like a dumbass for thinking you were there, because I know in the past when you've come into town, I've been like, hey, I'll be there. I might see you. I might not, whatever. But they fell for it. And you know what? I know they did. Well, and I get it. And I love that you did that. I love it so much.
They said anybody was welcome, but the truth is that wasn't the case.
No, it wasn't. No, but there were also, I don't know if you've heard this elsewhere. there was nobody checking freaking IDs at the door. The cops weren't there.
Yeah.
Like, as far as what I heard, but I left pretty early because I was like, this is not the right reason to be here. And I've been part of the rides, the vigils, all that. And I totally understand where you're coming from now, saying like, okay, they don't want our help.
They don't.
And it's not just you, those of you who well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to say that because I'm going to say you who I have followed, who have spent your money and not asked for money to get you there or whatever. You do it. Oh God. Oh shit. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh my God, something happened. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. I just couldn't do it. I was like, this is not right. And I'm not going to go into the Seth's prayer. I'm not going to go into that, but I will do this. I will tell you that there was I've worked in the industry, as you have as well, music industry, whatever. And I found Tony to be like you've said, directing Seth and doing whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter who's responsible. They're all freaking responsible. But like Tony was like guiding Seth to go and give hugs to these people. And then you had certain, I mean, I can say probably 5 creators, Smiley, especially BB or Bullhorn Betty, whatever. But I am pretty ashamed of myself that I was like, wait a minute, Dolly, he's not effing here. He's not here. I don't see him. I mean, I sure don't see TJ, even though he said that she's here, but she's not going to go in. Like, I felt a little embarrassed, but going in, I mean, listen, I am very happy you did that because you opened up, in my opinion, you opened up so many people to the true vision of what the hell is going on.
I know some people didn't see it like that. They just said I was a liar, and
I lied. You know what?
I lied to my viewers.
If anybody
and took money from, I never asked anybody for a penny. I never said, "Hey."
You never did.
But they, they don't like me, so they're going to use whatever they can use. Whereas I was joking, they say it was a lie. And I guess
anybody who knows, anybody who knows you knows that you're going to be honest.
Yeah, if I was going to lie, why would I come up here and say, "Hey guys, I was just messing with you"? If I was going to lie, I would continue to lie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I do feel a little stupid for like thinking, oh shit, Dolly's going to be here. And he didn't tell us. I mean, I do feel a little silly for that.
I just wanted to see if anybody would go.
At least you're honest.
I wanted to see if they would pinch cheeks and see if somebody was wearing a mask.
And they did, though. They did. And I'm not a YouTuber.
Like the Scooby-Doo.
And I should have probably.
I would have got away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
I should have taken video, but I. Like yourself, I want to keep it about Sebastian, and I'm not trying to read into what Seth said. I mean, I'm a Christian, I'm we're Christians, but I come from your what do you the Eastern Kentucky, the West Virginia, the Southern Baptist Christians, that's right. So I misunderstood Seth. I don't know if I want to say I misunderstood, but I did not take his prayer.
I didn't really catch it, the whole thing in the beginning. It wasn't until I went back and re-listened to it that I was like, hold up, what the hell did he just say?
Yes, same. Yeah, same. And I left shortly after the vigil like you said, okay, like you said, and you're the only one that I follow anymore on this. Like, I don't follow anyone else anymore. Well, I do have to say, I did listen to Bullhorn Betty, and what makes me sick about her, if I can say, like, she claims to be this, oh, praise God and do whatever, but you idiot, you stupid, you're this. Like, that's not.
I heard she was fat shaming people today. I don't know. Somebody told me that.
Oh my God. Well, I've not watched, like I said, like she was out there in the parking lot, like trying to, well, I'm sure other people have told you this, but she was like out there in the parking lot talking to whoever she freaking thought she was talking to that were so-called security, which there were none. There was the church security, and the church themselves, I feel, the leaders, and I do know the preacher and the worship leader of that church, I think they're probably, that's, maybe they haven't spoke up, I don't know, but they were like taken aback by everything, not just Seth, but everything. And I am just so proud of you for like standing your ground, and the people that did not understand, like I said, I was fooled at the beginning, but I'm like, oh no, Dolly, no, this isn't, no, he's not here. Like, I'm proud of you for calling the bullshit out.
Yeah, like,
because that's what a lot of it was, most of it.
Yeah, it's a cool kids club. If you wasn't part of their team, you wasn't welcome.
Yes.
And that was my point.
Exactly.
You know, people can be like,
and
Dolly's a liar.
That's so shameful. No, no, Dolly's real. We all say that. Those of us that follow you, real knows real. And I'm very, very proud of you and very happy. Although I'm ashamed that I fell for it for a minute. I'm so proud of you.
A lot of people are mad because it's dealing with a missing kid, but it wasn't about the missing kid.
No.
It's about their actions, the green team action, what they're about. To me, it had what I was doing to them had nothing to do with Sebastian. It had to do with the fact that these people didn't want Chris and Katie. They didn't really want Katie there. They didn't want any of these other people there. And they were making it like, know, they're these good people and everybody's welcome. It's about Sebastian. When that ain't the case. That's totally not the case.
Yeah.
So, but look, hey, I appreciate you calling.
Okay. I'm sorry to keep you so long, but
you're good.
Thank you for speaking the truth.
All right.
I love you, Dolly. Okay.
Be good. Peace.
Bye, TJ.
TJ's in bed. But yeah, I just wanted to prove a point, you know, and it wasn't just me trolling, but people wanted to get mad at me. Okay. It's selective outrage is what it is. You know, these same people are getting mad at me. Y'all mad when that man was showing Kylie Rodney's body, the dead kid's body? Nobody was mad then, right? But y'all mad that Dolly joked and said he was going to wear a mask to get into a church? Okay. Now, if I'd have showed up with a mask, they would have been mad that I was in a church with a mask on. Okay. So there was no win in it. Okay. There's no win because these people don't like me. And so it's going to be a lose-lose situation for me, either way you look at it. Right. But what it did do is show what kind of people we were dealing with. And it weeded out some of the people that ain't here for the right reasons. Dolly.
Dolly.
Yes.
This is Jen.
Hey, Jen.
How are you?
Doing pretty good. Not too bad.
Yeah, you're still looking fresh over there.
I try my best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, using that Dolly soap really works. I
don't know. I think my nose is breaking out a little bit right here. I think that's that medicine. It dries my skin out real bad. I've been using lotion, but it's still like, see, my nose is kind of red.
Oh, I don't see it unless it's the lighting that's making it a little burn.
We'll stick to my good side. Wait, I ain't got a good side. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, all right. I just wanted to let you know, people have got to start being a little nosy. from now on. I mean, there's an epidemic of kidnappers, obviously. And if they want to start finding their missing children, one of these people here on your chat may have one come up missing. You never
I hope
know.
not. I hope not. I mean, it can happen to anybody.
Yeah, I hope not.
That's for sure.
I hope not either. But if there is somebody out there looking out their window and they see something that's not right, they need to get off their donut eating butts and call the police.
Yeah, I can't eat donuts no more. They tell me that at the doctor.
Yeah, me too.
No more
either,
donuts. They're like, you got to cut out the sweets and shit. And I was like, what? I thought I just couldn't have fried food. They're like, nah, you need to cut out some of that sugar too. And I was like, oh my God, you just took my life away.
But I'm the one that wrote on the thing there. I did save two children's lives from being kidnapped.
Oh, wow.
One of them was my niece. And we were all sitting on the porch. She was playing outside. And this was on one of the busiest streets in Salt Lake. And he just drove right up, comes out of the car, and he heads straight towards her. And we get up and we head straight towards her because he had his arms out, ready to grab her.
Wow.
And as soon as he touched her, we grabbed her. And it was like a tug of war.
Oh, Lord. Well, thank God y'all won.
And, well, like I said, I wear a size 10. I'm 6'1".
Okay.
So I'm very tall, and I have a big foot. And a straight kick in the nuts made him let her go. Yeah. We called the police. They came down with 2 squad cars. We were talking, and I swear to God, he went down the opposite side of State Street with another child in his car. And I'm like, oh my God, there he is. He has another child in his car. Go get him. I mean, you guys have his license plates, everything. And they did.
I mean, there's a lot of crazies out there. You got to be really, really careful. I mean, you just never know in this day and age that who's a nutball and who ain't.
I mean, this was like less than a half an hour after he tried to grab my niece. He already had another child in his car.
Damn, that's wild. I mean, it's hard to stop a monster. Once you become a monster, they're hard to stop.
But they got him. They got him.
Thank God.
Save that little boy.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you did some saving yourself. So,
Well, I guess they don't care if it's a girl or a boy.
A lot of these monsters care. Some of them they weird. There's a lot of weird ass people in this world.
Well, I just
some people run around with monkeys and hair plugs. I mean, there's some weird ass people around. You gotta be careful.
I just can't believe it's an epidemic like this.
Yeah.
I'm calling it an epidemic. I mean, because it's just so many of them.
Yeah.
Just so damn many. What, can't they find a woman? I mean, seriously.
They don't want a woman. It ain't they can't find a woman. They don't want a woman. They like what they like, and that's what makes them sickos. And then, like, you just can't take your eyes off your kids. It's a fact, because they can wander off and get hurt. There's monsters and terrible people in this world, and you just got to be super careful. I mean, the world's only getting crazier. It ain't getting no better. I ain't never heard one person there go, yeah, the world's getting better. It's always worse and worse and more dangerous and more dangerous. It don't matter where you're at. You always got to, keep an eye out for your surroundings. Even I worry somebody gonna kidnap me, and I'm a grown ass man.
I mean, if we hadn't have been out there, on our porch, God knows.
Somebody might throw me in a Tesla with a monkey cage in the back. I don't know. I just keep an eye out.
Oh, I do too. You have to. When it comes to children, anymore, you have to keep an eagle eye out.
Yeah.
Because there's so many weirdos out there that, poof, they're gone.
Well, you be good. You stay safe, all right?
All right. Thank you. You have a nice night.
All right. Peace.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
That's true. Listen, you gotta keep your eyes on the prize these days, and like nobody's safe. Don't think grown ass men don't get kidnapped. They do. All right. There were was just trying to catch up with the chat a little bit. I'm afraid of the dark, and I'm 53 years old. Okay. I ain't quite afraid of the dark, but you never know. I'm more worried about people robbing me than anything, right? You don't want to be too flashy. All right, last call tonight, guys. Dolly.
Hey, why did the psychic cross the road?
Why did the psychic cross the road? I don't know why.
Because she was trying to reach the other side.
She was trying to reach the other side. Okay, I get it.
Right.
I get it.
I'm not a psychic, by the way.
Okay, you're not a psychic. You the girl that called in.
No, I mean I talk to spirit.
You just
I've never charged anybody for anything I do. I mostly I take like pictures of like angels and Jesus and stuff, and like I'm a light giver.
Okay,
but you're like more of a psychic than me.
I know.
Not so much that I see dead people. I'm a visionary.
I'm a realist.
Well, me too. I'm into Taoism. Everything's connected.
It's a superpower. Okay,
dude. It's not about you ain't got no superpowers.
Realness. It's a superpower. Everybody ain't got
what? Being ugly? No.
Real ugly.
No. What's your superpower?
Being real. That's a superpower.
Being real.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're more real than a lot of folks. That's for sure. But I don't know. Yeah. I was tripping. I was like, because you said you were down there. Like I didn't finish watching your live that morning or whatever. But I was like, message you never answered though. I was like, you're down there. I thought you said you weren't going. And I was like trying to get you to go to Hen House.
I mean, for anybody that watched my videos the night before, I said I wasn't going. And then
you said it for like weeks.
Yeah, and then I posted a comment that said, I can't wait to meet Queen Bee, and I'm staying at Cluminati's house.
Right.
I mean,
oh yeah, you don't even like Queen Bee, right?
You didn't know that was a lie, then there's no really helping you at that point. You know what I'm saying? I can't really do much for you after that. And people were mad that I was hanging people believed I was really doing that because they were like, "Oh my God, you friends with Clue? I'm gonna,
dude."
And I was just thinking, okay, well, take yourself out because if it's about that to you and not what I bring to the internet, then you don't probably belong here. Anyway.
Some people are crazy. They follow you like Jesus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
you can probably start a cult.
I don't know. I just think some people. They're looking for a reason to say something mean, and I give them a reason. Right. They took the opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
I really hate, saying that little boy Dane is gone. I wish I want to be positive about it, but I get a vision of it, and then it sucks because it's over.
And a good thing about
I do believe that it's the power of prayer and thought.
It showed me what that post did was show me who really didn't rock with me anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It kind of weeds people out, which if you don't really rock with me,
it was weird.
If you don't,
it was weird because I started to watch it. I'm like,
why would I?
You said you weren't even going. That's I don't know. I thought it was some.
Why would I want you here if you don't support what I do? And I don't mean financial support. I mean just support what I do on YouTube. If you're not, why would you even be here if you just looking for a reason to be mad at me?
Bro, that's for real though. I love your heart. You're good people, and you're doing it. You're not doing it really for clout. I mean, I guess somewhat. I'm sure it's got your head a little bit.
Somebody gets mad at me.
I'm sure you could be a prick, but
it ain't gonna make my life any harder. It's still gonna be
well,
a Mr. Pillow. It's gonna be pretty soft either way. You know what I'm saying? So
right. It might make your fellow a little bit harder.
I don't want to get the
sometimes, but-
wrong people mad at me. Is what it is.
Yeah. Well, Jesus is the one you should worry about, and I'm telling you, you know, it's all about like your heart.
Yeah.
And some people, they're too busy like with their big old cup of haterade. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
They got hate for everybody. You know, they're so busy hating somebody else, they forget to love themselves.
People were saying mean shit to me that I've never seen in the room before.
It was.
Yeah. This believe
Oh, because you lied.
They said I lied when I was joking. And they said you lied. And like,
Right.
I've never seen you before. I've never seen you leave any comments on my channel. But all of a sudden now you didn't support me before. So why do I expect you
right
now? You know what I'm saying?
So like,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, they was all disappointed because you weren't there. They thought they were going to get them some dolly, I guess.
I don't know. I just
was it people that was there or people that wasn't there?
It's just people channels that don't like me, and their people came over here to
right.
me.
Sending people because they're jealous because they got like what 100 subscribers.
I mean, I don't know. It don't matter to me. It's
they try to copy your swag.
You ain't got nothing better to do in your day than to come say something mean to some guy you don't know.
That's what I said. Like they're too busy hating, and it's messed up.
Okay.
Like,
well, look, I got to get ready to run.
Hold on, I didn't even get to say anything. I was in your conversation.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
My bad. Okay, that's why I talk so fast. I never get to say nothing. But I was gonna talk to you about the little boy Dane. I tried to, but you wouldn't.
Okay.
And he's in water. He's not in that river though. And it really sucks. He's saying that the lady said an epidemic. It's mainly it's really, really hard to even know that. It's mainly parents that they're doing this to their children, and it's like sickening. And if we don't start being better humans, like we need to love all children like they are our own, or we don't deserve to call Earth home. I say we make one big wood chipper.
Throw them all in it.
Or actually, there's dragons. I don't know if I told you that, but things are gonna change. Like,
okay,
really
we
soon.
just went from wood chippers to dragons. All right, woman, you be
I'm
good.
I was going to tell you. I want to tell you, love all children like they are your own.
Okay.
If not,
all right. I lost you at dragons. You be good. Peace.
Hey, no. Are you kidding me? Okay, I'm about to send you 20 pictures of real dragons.
Okay, 20
I don't lie.
All right, send them to me.
Yeah, 20 of them. All right, bye.
Bye. Oh, Lord. Okay, we went from the kid's not in the river, but he's in water, to dragons, to wood chippers, to the sacrifices I make for YouTube. Okay, the sacrifices I make for YouTube. Good Lord. Good Lord. Okay, so look, be good people out there. If you're mad at me, stay mad at me. It's just one of those things. So, like I said, like at the end of the day, I was playing. It was to show somebody's hand, and I ain't gonna keep explaining my fucking self. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. If you want to think I'm a liar out there, think I'm a liar. Okay. But I can tell you this, the people you're white knighting for are fucking 1,000 times worse than me. Okay. So just sleep on that. Sleep on that. Listen, guys, I got to get out of here. I may be back in like an hour and a half or so, the Late Night Dolly show. Okay. And I'll chop it up with y'all. I don't really have a topic. Maybe leave some things in the comment box that y'all want to talk about later tonight. And maybe we'll go over some of those things. Okay. So, like I said, I'm not going to continue to completely talk about Sebastian. That's why, this was towards the end. I do have a video that I'm working on. And then after that video, we're not going to give up on him, but we're only going to cover stuff when there's news to cover. There really ain't nothing going on in the Sebastian Rogers case. That's why people, let me close this phone line before it rings, are making things up. Okay. But just be good people out here. Don't believe everything you hear. And if you do believe everything you hear, don't share it with me. Okay. Because then I got to say something and people get mad every time I say something, and Dolly's the bad guy. So it's better just to pay it no mind. Don't hear it. what is it? Don't see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. If I don't see it, hear it, I ain't got nothing to say about it. Okay. So especially when it's some BS, and there's a lot of BS out here right now, because like I said, there is nothing going on in the case. I don't know why these people don't talk about other cases. You know, like I said, there's Karen Reed, there's baby Dane, there's a million, there's Delphi, there's Stephen Stearns, there's Maddie Soto, there's a million things to talk about that you don't have to make shit up. All right, Dolly loves you guys. Y'all be good, stay safe. I'll see y'all later tonight. All right, peace.